Good afternoon, SOBs. It's me, your host, Jared Logan, and you are watching Stream of Blood. It is our tabletop role-playing game stream where we play horror games, action games, and today you have tuned in to the Neptune Society, our ongoing Call of Cthulhu campaign with a rotating cast set in the 19th century, usually set on the high seas. Not today. Today we have a different setting in mind for our adventure. But hello, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited. We've got a stellar cast today. Before we get into all that, I want to ask you guys to make sure you click that little heart that you see there to follow us on Twitch. That way you'll always know when we're going to go live. And, you know, we announce lineups and program changes on Twitter and Instagram. So if you really want to get into it, we post character sheets and all kinds of art and stuff on our Facebook group as well. So we're Stream of Blood on all those platforms. Just search Stream of Blood and make sure you join those things and click on them and subscribe to everything we do so you know about all of that. I also want to say, if you're here, we do not have a Patreon. We do not ask you to give us money to keep us going here. But there has been a lot of work done the past few weeks on social justice and the issue of police brutality in this country. And if you are watching us right now, I'm going to ask you, give whatever you can to Campaign Zero. You can find them at joincampaignzero.org. It's very easy to find the donate button. It's just over there to the right hand of the menu at the top of the screen when you go to Campaign Zero. And give them whatever you can afford. And do it in the name of enjoying entertainment like this. You know, we are lucky that we have the privilege to enjoy fun tabletop role-playing game streams. Not everybody has that privilege. And a lot of people in this country are struggling. And they're struggling, but reforms like Campaign Zero are trying to put into effect are gonna help with that struggle. So please go there and donate, and let's continue to focus on the great work people are doing in this country on those issues. Okay, now it's time for me to segue from that into saying that, man, I've really enjoyed doing this stream the past couple of weeks in quarantine. Today is sort of a special episode. I'm really excited about our guests, and I'm really excited about the particular adventure that I have in store. So let me go ahead and start bringing our guests out now. I met this gentleman at a concert that I went to a couple years ago where, I mean, the sheer energy and talent and just excitement on display, it floored me. I was blown away. And I'm such a huge fan of his. And, you know, I'm glad that he got to come today and play role-playing games with us. He is from the old 97s. You might remember him from that band. He's doing 4 shows a week right now online. So if you're someone who wants to, you know, check that out, please, you know, Google Rhett Miller and watch his shows that he's doing online. Please welcome Mr. Rhett Miller, everybody.
Ooh.
Hey, pal. Wow. How did you do that?
It's magic, mostly magic.
Yeah, doing a little sage to kind of clear the air of bad magic.
I just wanted to look cool. I know that Janet and Becca are like old pros, and I'm just a rock and roll singer, so I'm trying to hold my own.
Well, I don't think you play role playing games all the time. I think, right? This might be your first Call of Cthulhu, right?
Yes, it is. But having read through the system, it's really cool. I've always heard about it, but I've never dug in. I like the percentile dice idea.
Yeah, it's simple, but you know, a lot of crazy stuff can happen, and I think we'll probably see some weird twists of fate today. Thank you so much for being here, Rhett. I'm going to bring out our next guest. She is a fantastic, funny, and talented actress. Just to pick some of her geekier parts she's played, she was the voice of Korra in The Legend of Korra. She also has participated in Riff Tracks, which is, you know, the inheritor of Mystery Science Theater. I mean, like, these are 2 things that I really love. And man, getting to meet her and have her come play with us, I've grown to love her as well. Please welcome Janet Varney, everybody.
Oh,
yeah,
hello.
Boning up. Oh, hello.
Hello.
And Janet, you can tell that you are a pro because you came in cosplay.
I did.
You just kind of wear that kind of outfit all the time?
It's been
Fingerless
very
gloves?
cold in Los Angeles lately,
sure.
and I had to light a small. I had like a can of beans that I ate, and then I lit a small fire, much like
Right.
Rhett's stage fire, very small to warm my hands. But
Great. Well, keep an eye on open flames while we're playing. I would hate for you to suddenly have to go put out your sofa. But thank you so much for being here, Janet. You guys look great. I'm sweating already. We're not 3 minutes into the stream, and I look like a monster. But that's good. I'm going to be playing some monsters, maybe. I'm going to bring out our final guest. Oh, by the way, Janet's costume might give you a little bit of a clue as to what the adventure is going to be like or about today. So, you guys can
in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You guys in the chat can make guesses about that. I'm going to bring out our final guest. Our final guest is a regular here on the Neptune Society and on Stream of Blood. And boy, it's just fun to play with her every time. You know, she had another character, and that character died. And I'd like to say a few words right now about that character. This is an in memoriam. We honor the memory of writer and adventuress Countess Alma Serrano Ramos. Her daring spirit was a credit to us all, whether wielding a sword as a member of the Neptune Society or a pen as her nom de guerre, Algun Verdad. She embodied the resolve against the unknown to which we all must aspire. Alma is preceded in death by her beloved Count Diego Serrano de Santiago, and a vigil in her honor has been organized by fellow Neptune Society member Orlando Robichaud. Abyssum invocat. Wow, we had Latin at the end of our in memoriam. Latin translation: the deep calls to the deep. And Alma, of course, was murdered by a giant whale-like creature that smashed into her boat. Here is the person who brought her to life, playing a new character tonight. Please welcome Becca Scott, everybody.
Okay, a couple things. First of all, it's very surreal to attend your own funeral.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't really know what to say about that. Really, Alma maybe shouldn't go chasing giant whales in the sea and jump off the boat in order to pursue them. That's maybe what I've learned as a player and a character is maybe run in those situations, I think.
Yeah, you can run. It's okay.
Thank you. I didn't realize I'd graduated to regular status, so that's very exciting.
That's right. You're a regular, and you'll be getting your T-shirt in the mail.
Okay. Cool.
Actually, we should have those, and we should send one to Becca.
I have a corncob pipe as well, inscribed with the Neptune Society.
What if I send you like a 19th century kind of captain's like model of a major general hat?
I will wear it every single stream.
Okay, now we have to do that. So Clint, if you're watching, please go buy one of those. All right, guys, I think it's time to get into today's adventure. We'll meet your characters once we've gotten into it. So if you don't mind, I am going to now set the scene. All right. London, 1849. A dirtier or more wretched place you've never seen. The streets are very narrow, twisting, and muddy, and the air is impregnated with filthy odors. On Saffron Hill in Clerkenwell, there are a good many small shops, but their only stock in trade appears to be heaps of children who crawl in and out at the doors or scream from the inside. The sole places of prosperity amid this general blight are the public houses, and in them the lowest orders of men are wrangling with might and main. Covered ways and yards, which here and there diverge from the main street, disclose little knots of houses, where drunken men and women wallow in filth. And from several of the doorways, great ill-looking fellows cautiously emerge, bound, to all appearance, on no very well disposed or harmless errand. Today's adventure of the Neptune Society, the twisting streets of London. All right. The three of your characters are young people who live on the streets of London. You make your living picking pockets, and you have come back to your hideout, where you live with your sort of the leader of your gang, an adult named Ike Seville. Ike is a very disreputable, dirty, crooked sort of gentleman, and he sends you out every day to pick pockets, and you have to bring back what you find. And if you bring back nothing, you don't get fed. So
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a fair deal, right?
That's right. Yeah, if
Now-
I brought something back no one else did, I wouldn't want them to eat my food.
Yes, exactly. It's what capitalism demands. That's a good point. So I would like for each of you to introduce your character. Tell me, how the day went for you, or what your strategy is at picking pockets, and then we're going to roll to see how you did with your your ill-gotten gains today. Why don't we start with the person who just addressed me? I believe her name is Wilma Wiggleton. Is that correct?
Just call me Wiggles.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, like Wiggles. Yeah, so a bit about me. I stand, there's a shop. It's a dress shop, and I stand round there because, sometimes you find nice scraps and I can sell them back to to other people. No, I'm not Moira. Don't know who that is. I'm Wiggles. And
The voice is very different, chat room.
yeah, no, it's
Okay.
very different because I'm a child, you see.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I'm innocent and no one suspects me. I go up and I say, "Oh, did you drop this scrap? Would you maybe like to have an extra scrap?" I got it out of the dumpster, see? And then when they say no thank you, well, maybe they'll buy it from me. I also pick their pockets whether or not they buy the scraps from me.
Excellent. Well, why don't we see how you did today? Why don't you roll your sleight of hand skill?
Yeah, there's just barely nuts. No, not today. I got
Didn't work out very well, huh?
hand.
All right.
Warm
Well,
up.
let me just see what happened to you then. Let's see what occurred when you failed today.
Excuse me, miss.
Okay. You got a pretty good result, which is just that you didn't. Everybody that you kind of showed your scraps to today were kind of like, get out of my way, like stay out of my way. They weren't interested in your con game. They knew to stay away from these disreputable looking children along the sidewalk. And
So they were friendly.
Yeah, and then at one point, a constable you're very familiar with happened along, Sergeant Fluke. And when Fluke kind of wandered onto the scene here in Clerkenwell, where you were trying to pick pockets, you knew that you had to make yourself scarce, and so half of your day was lost, and you're afraid that Ike's going to be very angry with you when you get back to the hideout on Saffron Hill. Meanwhile, Rhett, or should I call you by your character's name, Lord Billiam. Let's see how it went for you. How do you go about picking pockets here on the muddy, foul-smelling streets of London?
Well, my mom was she was a seamstress as well, so I like Wiggles right away. But I weave words. I like to spin a yarn, I like to get people going, and then they don't notice when my fingers dip into their pockets and take out a tuppence or two, and then I just go about my way, and Ike doesn't beat me. I'm pretty good at my job. And I did live for a while under the stage at a playhouse where they would put on shows by someone called Bard, and they were quite good, and I learned a great many new words, and so I try and use them every day. I myself have not been made a lord by any fancy personages, but I consider myself a lord in training, so I like to be called Lord Billiam. My mother called me Billy, but I think that sounds like a child's name, and I'm clearly not a child, so Lord Billiam would be good.
Yes,
Please don't
you've
ever
gone
call
for
me.
the much more mature and sophisticated moniker of Lord Billiam.
Thank you for
Yes.
knowing that. Yes.
Yes, I love your strategy. Why don't you you can roll your fast talk to distract somebody, and then you can roll your sleight of hand to pick their pocket.
All right.
So roll the fast talk first. And what kind of thing might you say to them? Are you giving them a soliloquy from the Bard when you do this?
Sometimes I like to quote Lord Byron, and I say,
Yes.
Thou doubt should mingle with my filial joy. Deal with me as thou wilt, but spare this boy. So I say something like that, and then sometimes I see their eyes go across while they're thinking about it, and that's when I know to dip into their pocket.
They're probably stunned by the beauty of the poetry. Go ahead and roll that fast talk roll.
42.
And what is your fast talk skill?
My 75.
So you rolled under your fast talk skill by more than 30, so you succeed. So now I'm going to let you roll your sleight of hand skill with a bonus die. And what I mean by that is you can roll your fast talk skill, but you can roll the tens die twice and take the better result.
Thank goodness, because it was a 10 the first time.
That's
80, 83. Oh,
no, you want low. You want low.
Yeah, okay, 10.
Thank you, Becca. Yes. So you want to roll under your skill all the time. So actually, that first one was excellent.
13. Yes.
13. Okay, excellent. So you at one point distract for a moment a kind of unsavory looking gentleman. He's kind of like all elbows and knees and whiskers. And you're distracting him with your poetry, and you pull something out of his pocket, and it's very odd. It's a strange sort of glass disc. And the disc is sort of like lilac, kind of like a purple glass, and it's got a lot of weird writing along the outside. And it's about 5 inches in diameter, about half an inch thick. And as you look through it, you see that it kind of blurs and warps. Kind of, it's not like perfectly clear. When you look through it, it kind of blurs and warps what you're looking at. And you think, well, this has got to be worth something.
Yes.
Okay,
Can
great.
I just say that I see Lord Billiam. He's near the dress shop, and I offer a deal standing whenever you choose to accept. I know you will. Is I'll take you under my wing for a small fee of a percentage of your winnings. So I would like to own 1/5 of your glass thingy if I see it. Do I see it?
I think that I think that's up to Lord Billiam. Did you have it? Well, you've already made him the offer. Yeah, he must have had it out and looking at it, and so you approached him and you kind of asked him if you can kind of share his ill-gotten gains here.
Yeah, because our act could really go well because you're the wordsmith, yeah, fast talking. And so I'm working on a singing act that I'm putting together. I haven't shown anyone yet.
Well, I did say that my mom was a seamstress, so I'm taken by Wiggles anyway, and so yeah, I'd show her my cool piece of thing. But take me under your wing and learn how to what would I learn?
Teach you all I know. This way, there's bread. This way, shoes is a cobbler. I'll teach you everything about the streets of London. I know everything.
I'll teach you some big words.
I think that in the time-honored tradition of crooks everywhere, the less successful one has convinced the more successful one to share in the profit. And so very well done, Wiggles. Right. Let's find out how our third orphan is doing on the streets of London. Scraps. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
How's the stealing going today? Or what strategy do you employ? And let's find out how it went.
It's gone all right. I find that people respond to fear, so I try to. I'm very small, so I can't do too much to scare people. But if I act sick, then people are very distracted. They're very worried. They get out of the way. So I either will put some oatmeal on my face or draw a pop or two, and then I cough right near people, and the coughing distracts them from the me plucking things out of their pocket. So it will be like, oh, Mum, I'm going to see Grandmumsy, and then they're like, oh, I don't want whatever that is, and then I take whatever it is that's in their pocket.
I think that strategy is not only brilliant, it's also topical. And what I would like to see, let's see, how are we going to, do you have any persuade skill or fast talk skill on your sheet? I don't know that Scraps is particularly good at that.
I persuade. I'm looking at a 50, and I don't like numbers. I should warn you
that's
right now.
okay.
I don't like numbers, and I don't like dice. I don't like dice.
Well, we won't.
50.
Don't worry.
I see 25 over 10 and 50. For
Those little 25s and 10s.
Oh no,
they are...
persuade. No. Sorry. That was on the wrong side. Persuade 0. I got nothing on persuade 0.
You know what
I'm
going
to
do?
And then what was the other one?
You do have 10 just as
fast
the base.
talk.
Fast talk also 0.
Oh dear. Okay, so
none.
And also, it also makes sense to me that telling people that you're sick would probably not be the best way to get near them. But I think I
tell people I'm sick. I act sick, and they respond
Right.
accordingly.
Sure. I think that you should just roll your sleight of hand, and I'm not going to give you any bonus for your very entertaining but probably not effective con game. So,
and what do I do to roll my sleight of hand? What do I do?
Yeah, every roll in Call of Cthulhu is done with percentile dice, or most of the rolls. So just roll 2 10-sided die. One is the tens die, 10, 20, 30, 40, and the other one is the ones die. And see what number between 1 and 100 that you get after you've rolled.
Okay, roll 1 10.
So what's the first one? What's the first one?
It's a 7.
So that's 70. And then roll the next one.
And then what's the other one? The which sided die?
It's
also
a 10-sided die again.
Okay, I don't like dice. That's a 3. 73.
So you roll a 73.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
What does it say? What's the number beside your sleight of hand skill?
The beside my sleight of hand, it's a 70.
Oh, so you missed it by 3 points.
Yeah.
But I'm going to give you an opportunity to succeed, okay? There are 2 things you can do in Call of Cthulhu if you fail a roll. You can say, I'm pushing the roll, which means I'm going to try to roll it again. And if I fail this time, something horrible will happen.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like those odds. That sounds awful.
Or I can give you an easier way to succeed, all right? You can just spend some of your luck points. Do you see that big box on your sheet that says luck?
Yeah. Oh, luck's very important to me. I'm not sure I want to let go of any of my luck, but...
Well, it's true. Each time it goes down, if I make you roll luck later, you'll be rolling a harder roll. But if you want to spend 3 luck right now, you'll succeed.
Should I? What can I ask my friends what I should do?
You absolutely can. Yes. What do people in the chat think that she should do?
What should I do? Should I spend?
I think they're going to tell you to spend that luck, but let's see what they say.
All right.
Do it.
Okay. Wiggles says do it. Lord will probably say something.
I know Scraps for a long time. Yeah, Scraps.
Push.
We go way
Some
back.
People are saying.
We go way back.
We were taught by the same time. We were found around the same time by Aki.
Well, I think we're getting spend
Mixed
luck,
signals.
spend it.
Spend it. Okay, I'll spend it.
Luck.
I'll spend.
Okay.
I'll
So
spend
you
3
spend
luck.
3
tomorrow,
luck.
Scraps.
So move that little circle on your sheet, or just circle a number that's 3 less than where your luck was before.
Okay, I'm looking at something that's not non-editable, but that's okay.
You can just use a pencil, or you can
I'm
write
gonna
it down.
write down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, that your luck is different now, and you have succeeded. Let's see what you got out of that pocket, huh?
Oh,
you
look
got
at
something.
that.
You succeeded by spending your luck. You got lucky, and I'm rolling right now, and you got the latest issue of Punch. It's got cartoons, but they're boring, and they're about people you've never heard of.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if Likey's going to like that, but we're about to find out, because it is now kind of coming toward the end of the day, the time when Ikey feeds you some stale bread or some lukewarm porridge, if you bring back something of value. And so now you have all arrived at the hideout on Saffron Hill, and it's an old, dilapidated building nestled in among the other tenements here. It should be condemned. It's already crumbling on its own. And you guys arrive, and you meet Ikey Seville, and he's like, "Well then, children, what have you brought back for me tonight, eh? Some gold, a pocket watch, a couple shillings, eh? I don't hear any clinking."
Clink, clink.
Yeah, that's not going to work. You can't just make a clinking sound with your mouth. That's not...
You should be more specific, can't
I'm not
you?
a
Because
fool,
we don't have much.
Scraps.
I'm gonna be straight with you. There's been better days and there's been worse, but let me tell you that I have recently taken Lord Billiam under my wing, spending my time training him to improve his skills. And yeah, he had a successful day, and I take a part in that. Also, I found these bits and pieces of fabric in a pocket of a rich lady.
I already told you. I don't want to see any scraps of cloth back here anymore. Children, I want things that make a clinking sound. Money, metals, things that shine and glisten. Get those
Children that
scraps
say
out
clink,
of my face.
clink.
Nope, that's not
Go
what.
on,
No,
Billy.
don't just say clink. Now, what have you brought me?
Ike, I've got something for you. Ike, I've got a piece of glass that looks quite valuable, and I'd love to share it with you. And Wiggles helped me out, and Scraps did as well.
right.
Everybody.
Yeah, I do.
All of you helped find this.
Well, we work together because one of us does one thing. It's all part of like a, it's like we work together.
So he looks at the strange glass, and he looks at it, and he's like, this does look like it's valuable.
Right?
But
Yeah,
I have
right.
3 children working for me because I want 3 treasures per day, not 1. Stop working together. You should be like double-crossing each other, Like you should have beaten him and taken everything that he had. That's kind of the values I'm trying to instill in you kids.
But it's so hard
Yeah.
out there already, Ike. Why would we go against one another when we could do better as a team with the whole world against us?
He's like, I'm teaching you about the world, and his breath almost knocks you over. He's like, the world will chew you up and spit you out. Only old Ike Seville cares about you. No one else will ever be nice to you.
Well, undoubtedly, Ike, your wisdom is greater than ours. But what if, by working together, instead of 3 times the amount, we were able to make something exponentially more valuable, like perhaps this glass thing you've got in your hand?
Big
Son,
words.
my father would have beat me to within an inch of my life for saying something like that.
Well, you had a father. That sounds very nice.
Must be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dead now. I killed him. Well,
I had a rich father once. He's
I
dead,
definitely have a buyer for this. I know the exact gentleman I need you to take it to, and he will pay good coin for. And then all of a sudden, knock, knock, knock. There's like a knock outside the tenement, and he's like, "All right, children, keep an eye on it. I'll be right back." And he goes off out into the outer room. Occasionally he has to deal with the Metropolitan Police who come knocking on his door. And you soon hear him having some sort of argument with someone out front. What would you like to do? Would you like to just wait for him to return, or
No, I'm gonna listen. I'm real good at listening in.
I'd like to use my magazine to roll into a tube shape. If we put the tube up against the door, we might be able to hear more of the conversation.
That is fantastic. So I think that go ahead and make that listen roll, Miss Wiggles. And,
Yeah, I'm non-binary, so I'm just
and
just
Scraps.
Oh, no,
Yes,
that's
I'm
Wiggles.
sorry.
Okay.
I was talking to Wiggles, who is
I
female.
apologize. I apologize.
That's
I
not bad,
apologise.
all right. Now what am I looking? Listening, eh? Yeah, okay, we've got a success.
Okay, and because of Scraps' clever magazine funnel, I'm going to give you even more information than I would have before. Like, you hear Ike saying, like, a glass? No, can't say, Sergeant, as I've seen anything like that come through the children's fingers today. But if it turns up, I'll be sure to tell you. Yes, no, I haven't seen anything like that. And then you hear the voice of Sergeant Fluke, the cop who often grabs the children and takes them off to the workhouse. And he's going like, "Don't lie to me, Seville. I know one of your little gutter snipes has it. I need it back immediately." And Seville's like, "I don't know what you mean. I've grown tired of this, Seville." And now you hear some kind of struggle going on outside in the front room. It looks like sounds like things are being knocked over and banged about.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, maybe we could climb out. Is there a window?
There are windows. There are little holes and things like little that you can crawl out of. But as you are preparing to do that, do you want to go out the window or do you want to go out the back door? That's up to you. There are both.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
conflicted. I feel a loyalty. I'm sorry, mate. I'm conflicted. I feel like maybe we should stick around and save Ike. He's
Well,
going to
Ike
beat us.
He treats us
But-
like dirt.
He's going to
this-
beat us one way or the other, whether we stick around or not.
The second that Lord Billiam says he treats us like dirt, Ike comes stumbling in and hears him say that. And Ike's holding his chest. And he tosses the glass onto the floor in front of all of you and goes, take it to Middlemess, Captain Middlemess, and Pentonville. And then he falls down in front of you and he's bleeding. You can see a wet red stain kind of covering the floor around him. And now you hear footsteps coming toward
It's a
you.
tomato.
Yeah,
heard
it's a
it's
tomato.
tomatoes.
Wait, quick! I'll tear out a couple of pages and just staunch the blood with the newspaper or the magazine. This thing has proved invaluable more than once today.
Wow, you have done more with an issue of Punch magazine than any role-playing
until
game
I
character
wrap
I've ever
fish
seen.
and chips in it. Wait until I wrap fish and chips in it. It's topical. Topical.
Well, here's the problem. These footsteps are coming toward you. The glass is there. Blood is starting to kind of congeal around the glass. Would you like to?
Did it break when it fell?
It did not break, and perhaps it is not made out of normal glass because it was
I'd like to
tossed to
grab
the
it.
floor.
Yeah, grab it, Lord.
I'd like to grab it, please, and I want to go out the back door.
Before we do, I've got to reckon with something. And I roll him over onto his back, and I assume he's still clutching his bleeding chest, and I
Yeah.
just slap him as hard as I can across the face. That's
Okay.
for me, Mum. She's dead somewhere, face up in a puddle, but I still love her. And you
Okay.
said
She's not
horrible
face down
things
in a
about her.
puddle.
It was incredibly cathartic. You feel so much better. In fact, your sanity score goes up by 1 point for slapping Ike in the face after all the abuse he's given you. Unfortunately, the delay you've created for yourself allows Sergeant Fluke to get into the room with you. Sergeant Fluke.
Sergeant
a
Fluke, what are
disgusting
the
individual.
chances?
Yes.
'Cause his
His
name
eyes
is
were
Fluke.
set too
Okay.
far apart, which had the disorienting effect that you never quite knew if he was looking directly at you. And Sergeant Fluke
I
was
don't know.
always wet, inexplicably sopping, dripping wet. That art is by
not
Ross
human.
Bryant, everybody.
Nice.
So Sergeant Fluke comes into the room and he's got his truncheon in his eyes and he's like, "There it is! I knew you little gutter snipes had it!" And he is
wanna throw
running
a
at you with
rocket.
his truncheon.
I gotta try and throw a rock at him because that's my only means of defense. I'm really good at throwing rocks.
Okay, so it sounds like you're going to try to throw a rock. What are you going to try to do, Lord Billiam?
I'm continuing to grab it and run out the back door.
That's a swell idea. And what about Scraps?
Well, I'm very afraid, but I feel if I scream very, very loud, it will harm his weird ear holes because he clearly doesn't have like nostrils the way we do. I'm assuming he doesn't have ears like we do. They're probably very tender, very
Yeah.
sensitive, very vulnerable. I'm going to scream.
Okay, so Scraps is going to scream. Okay, so let's look at everybody in Dex order, and it looks like our friend Lord Billiam gets to act first. So Lord Billiam, you're going to scoop the glass up off the floor and run out the back door. Is that right?
I would like to attempt that, please.
Okay, you may. And what I would like to ask you for, just to see how it's going as you're like kind of like running out the back door, is just give me one con roll. I just want to know how fast you're going. That's your Constitution. What'd you roll?
96.
A 96. And what is your
Terrible.
Constitution? What is your
40.
Constitution? 40. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you're not really getting a good run. Probably you're like looking back and like worried about your friends as you like kind of get out the door. But I'd say at the end of this little turn, you're kind of to the back door. You're not out it yet. You didn't take off at a shot. You're kind of moving that way. And now,
Can I scream? Can I scream, come on, Wiggles, come on, Scraps?
You certainly can. That's a great idea.
Oh,
And so
you.
then it is Scraps' turn, and Scraps said she was going to scream, but she can change her action after Billiam has talked to her, or she can scream as they can scream as they wish to.
I feel I should. I'm gonna. This is one reason I'm called Scraps. I'm gonna scrap the screaming, and I'm just gonna toss that away. And speaking of toss, I'm gonna pick up that magazine and I'm gonna hurl it. I'm gonna hurl it at his face. His weird. He won't be able to see it coming because there's one's eye here, one's eye here. Here comes the magazine. Boom! And
Right.
I'm gonna knock him. I'm knocking right there between his two weird eyes.
That's a great idea. Why don't you roll throw skill? Throw.
Okay.
That's at the very bottom right of your list of skills.
Okay, bottom right, throw. Well, this have none.
You
None
have
mentioned?
you have sun
I
because
do?
20 minimum, the percentage.
Oh,
There.
yeah, you have at
20%
least a
minimum.
20%
Okay.
chance. Yeah.
Okay, all right, and then I just roll my die.
Mm-hmm.
And do I roll it 2 10s? Or do I roll?
Yeah,
one,
you roll a
twice?
tens one and then a ones die. Yeah.
Oh, and the ones die. I didn't even know I had a ones die on this thing you sent me.
Well, it's a D10, but you roll a
Yeah.
D10 twice. One is the
Yep.
tens number and one is the
Yeah.
ones number.
Okay.
Hey,
I'll
Clint.
start-
Secret keeper.
Secret
Janet.
Keeper Clint.
yeah.
The roller I showed you has a little button under quick rolls that says D100. You just click that.
Ooh, yeah, just hit that.
Okay. All right. 91. Oh, I should have
Ooh,
stuck
not
with
so
the other
good.
one.
So you
Before
throw
I
a,
had a 36.
you throw
Before
a
I
blood.
took that advice.
Well, continue to take Clint's advice. He's always right. I don't argue with him ever.
Ooh.
You toss a blood-covered issue of Punch magazine at Sergeant Fluke, but it kind of flutters out of the way. Maybe it's too heavy from being
Magazines are
soaked
hard to
in.
throw.
The jokes aren't
Ike's
funny enough. They
lifeblood.
don't land. The jokes don't land in the comics.
Exactly.
So it doesn't. It flutters off to the side. I should have known.
Exactly. Oh, and then you said you were going to follow Lord Billiam, or are you going to stay and fight the old sergeant here?
I'm ashamed that my throw didn't work out. I kind of want to stay and fight. I'm worried about Wiggles, to be honest.
Okay, well, yeah, we're about to find out what's going to happen to Wiggles because she's next. So it sounds like you're staying.
I'm gonna stay.
Staying for now, no problem. And now, Wiggles, it is your turn. You wanted to throw a rock at Sergeant Fluke?
Yeah,
right?
well, Wiggles ain't staying, so I'm gonna throw him off. So first, I know there's a door, but I'm gonna go out the window. I'm gonna jump up and swing from the window frame, and as I do, reach into my trouser pocket. I've got lots of rocks in there because throwing stones is sort of my thing. I've got a lot of things, and I just want to aim right for his giant, wide-set left eye.
Okay, great. I think we can make all of that happen. So first, give me. I think you're climbing into the window. I'll let you do that for free, and go ahead and give me that throw roll. You're throwing the rock at Sergeant Fluke.
Oh yeah, we just barely got Irish. Just barely got it.
Okay, yeah, you can switch which of the British Isles you come from at any point during the game.
I thought
so
that was how it worked.
You made your throw skill, and I think you do a D3 with one of those rocks when you hit with it. So go ahead and give me that
divided by
D3 roll.
2, eh?
Yeah.
So I
Magic.
stayed to try to
Three.
protect Wiggles, and she's ditching me. I just wanted to make sure I understood that.
You
Okay.
got that correct. Yes, that's correct,
Okay.
Janet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I gotta go. I gotta look out for number 1, you know?
Did you say you just did 3
Sorry.
damage?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. The rock hits Fluke right in between those two wide-set eyes. He slips on the mud and falls hard back onto Ike's body, and then you are out the window.
See you, Scraps.
And if you are running
okay.
from the building, I would love for you to make a con roll as well, Wiggles.
Wiggles got the Constitution? Nah. I think I need to push it.
You cannot push this roll because I'm just doing this to
right,
set
right,
up
right. It's not a skill.
chase. In case a chase happens, I'm doing it to set up a chase, and you cannot push chase rolls. So you fail.
Yeah, there was
Wiggles.
it was a bunch of the latrines all feed into a pool right underneath this window. I forgot about that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you fell into a puddle of some very foul-smelling fluids, but you are finally on your way. And I'm going to say that our two people that ran are kind of moving out of the building now. But let's go to Sergeant Fluke now. He's last in the order, and he's gonna pick himself up off the floor where he's covered in blood, and he's gonna try to reach and try to grab Scraps, who stayed in the room. Scraps. I should mention that people often get kidnapped, injured, and or completely killed in my games. Maybe I should have mentioned that before you started playing, Janet. I hope that doesn't happen to Scraps right now.
No, you mentioned it.
Okay, good. Here comes Sergeant Fluke, and he is going to try to grab Scraps. And he fails his grab roll. So he just misses you.
Yeah.
And now it is Lord Billiam's turn. Lord Billiam, you're at the back door to this tenement. Where would you like to go, or what would you like to do?
I'm quite worried about my friend Scraps, because she's always got them weird illnesses and looks like oatmeal on her face. And when I get to the back door, I want to look back around and I want to set up some sort of an ambush. And I want to yell, hey, Sergeant Fluke, I've got that thing you're looking for. Come and get it. And I want to step around the corner and look for something to hit him in the face with when he runs through the door.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Is it a brick, maybe a bottle or something?
Yeah, let's see. Roll your luck.
All right. 76. Ugh.
And your luck is what?
53.
Ah, damn. Okay, so
Can I push that?
You cannot push a luck roll, only skill rolls. So I think that the problem you're having is you were like, hey, Sergeant Fluke, come and get me. I have the thing you want. And you're like, I'll just grab a brick. And then you ran out the back door and there were no bricks. And there are no convenient bats or things to hit people with. So maybe you'll have to use your... What's that?
What
the
about
glass
the piece
itself?
Of glass?
Now that's what you have. You've got it. Okay.
I like it.
And now we come to once again we're back to Scraps. Scraps, what would you like to do?
Well, I think that because he has, that Sergeant Fluke has slipped in grabbing me, I assume he has slipped on the blood of Ike. Sorry, Ike, but thank you. And so what I've done is I've done a little slip and slide, like a slip under his legs, his wide, weird legs, because they're spread open from the blood. They're slipping around. I slip under his legs. I grab the magazine. I'm not going anywhere with that magazine.
No, we need that. Of course,
I'm going to go out the front.
Ooh, very smart. Very good. Can I just get make another one of those? Click on that D100 one more time and tell me if you rolled under your Constitution, your con score.
Okay, my con score is, hold on, I'm looking at hit point. Where's my Constitution?
It's at the top of your sheet. It's beside
that seems
STR.
Important. Oh, yeah, okay. I did not roll under that at all.
Okay, that's okay.
I rolled a 68, and my Constitution is 50.
Okay. So that tells me something about how fast everybody is moving in this chase. If a chase does break out here, but you are out the front door, Scraps.
Yep.
You've moved out the front door, and so now it is Wiggles' turn. Wiggles.
Okay.
You hopped out the window into a foul puddle, and now where are you going?
Well, I think maybe there's a sort of like a pit that is contained, like maybe a wood box that's leading all the latrines here. Yeah.
Sure. A nasty trough.
Yeah, nasty trough. And I thought maybe I would try and dump it on him, but I start to lift and I don't have much strength. I'm not very big. I mean, I'm bigger than them, but smaller than this sergeant. So I use my intelligence and I have an idea. Maybe I test one side and maybe I could unscrew one side of it. So it just sort of like all the slush falls in front of his feet. And even more, he just goes slipping and sliding in the poo.
Okay, great. So this trough, this sort of weird latrine, you assumed that this was inside the building, right? Because we had said you had crawled up into the window.
I thought it was just outside the window.
Just outside the window. Okay,
Yeah,
I
you
understand.
gotta get the
Well, we
breeze
said
for that smell,
we
you
said there
know?
was a nasty bit of water there, and now we know that it's part of a trough. And so, yeah, you're going to try to kind of create a slip and a slide. But I think it would require strength. What were you saying you wanted to use instead?
Well, instead, I just want to. I try to lift it, and it was too heavy. But maybe one of the sides of this container is. I can see if there's any loose screws, and maybe just unscrew that using more of my intelligence.
It makes total sense. Give me a
Ingenuity.
mechanical repair roll.
Oh gosh, nope. Wait, that's worse than my strength.
I guess we're rolling strength.
Okay, well, it either way.
It
He just-
failed.
He's
Yeah.
flopping around. I just face plant into the trough once again.
I think so. I think that you tried to like pick it up and like bring it into the room, and I think that you kind of fell down into it. So now I'm going to tell you where everybody is, just so it's really clear. Wiggles is face down in a trough full of manure and disgusting water. She's in
manure.
kind of a little alleyway outside the building. That alleyway leads back into kind of a back courtyard where you can go up like rickety wooden stairs to various other tenements in this little tenement block. All right, and that is kind of where our friend Lord Billiam has run out into. You've kind of run out into that little courtyard out the back door, and our friend Scraps has run out the front door. So she's out in the street itself. So you're all in different positions around this building, and now I believe we do come to Sergeant Fluke, who will run full speed, sprinting out the back door, and let's see if he spot hiddens the fact that our friend Lord Billiam is waiting for him. And
Can I say something controversial while you roll? I don't care for Fluke. I don't care for him.
you know what?
And I know that's controversial, but I don't like him.
Yeah, well, he's really good looking and really nice, so I don't understand that, but okay. Look, he failed, so he's not prepared for your trap. Yes. He's not at all, artwork by Ross Bryant. He's not at all prepared for your trap, and so, Lord Billiam, it's your turn. Are you going to hit him with that glass?
I'd like to smash him right between the eyes with that glass.
Okay,
He's
go
got a
ahead
dip
and give
from a
me,
rock there.
Go
Yeah,
ahead and
get
give me
him.
a fighting roll.
Get him, Lordy.
37. I made
Okay.
it.
Great, excellently done. So go ahead and roll your damage, and I think for this, so it's going to be 1d3 plus 1d4, and I think that something else happens too. Something very interesting happens when you do this. So let me know once you've done your damage.
I don't have a D3. Is
Oh.
that roll a
You roll a
D6 and
d6
half?
divided by
and you
2.
half it.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's
Or I
right.
can roll it for you. I have a
All right.
d3.
I have a D6 right here.
Okay, great.
Wait, you have a D3? What does that look like?
It's got like a 1, 2, or 3 on all the sides. It's just a d6 with different sides.
Thank you. I was like, that's not possible.
Yeah, you're like, how? You were like trying to
Where?
think geometrically how that they could have accomplished that.
I mean, I hate D4s for that reason. If you took one less side, no way.
I
No
know.
way.
How'd you do?
So, as poorly as you can do on that
Okay.
dice. So
That's okay.
But I did roll a 3 on my D4.
Okay, so you did 5 altogether. So you actually did quite well hitting him with this thing. Now here's the other thing I'll tell you. When you smash this thing into his face, you're looking at his face through the glass. And when that happens, suddenly I want you to make a power roll. Would you please roll D100 and try to roll under your power, Mr. Lord Billiam?
Failed. Can I push it?
You can push it. Go ahead.
Fuck.
Being nice.
99.
Okay. That's okay. I'm going to tell you what happens. You lose, let's see here.
So I'm,
You lose 2 magic points, okay? And you look through this glass and you see that as you're hitting him in the face, Sergeant Fluke isn't a person. The human skin is just a thin disguise, and now you can see this frog creature underneath, like with a big sack inflating under
Self-disguise.
under its
I know.
chin.
It's like, did
and-
we have to roll die to know he was a human? Did you see the eggs? They
Yes,
were like two
but-
hard-boiled eggs.
But
You see the yolk?
Scraps, it's even. That's him when he looks like a human. Now it's so clear his real form is revealed to you, and you must make a sanity roll, Lord Billiam. A sanity roll. So try to roll under your sanity.
We need you sane. Come on.
Yes, 19.
A 19, excellently done. So you lose no sanity for seeing this, but you do know that something strange has occurred with this glass. I'm going to rule that Sergeant Fluke falls to his knees and is holding on to his bloody lack of a nose, and you guys can start running. Do you all want to run, or are you going to stay here and try to beat him into submission?
So this is just through the glass you could see his true form. So
Right, he did not literally transform. It was through the glass you could see that.
Okay, so I don't see it.
No, in fact, you're around the corner with your face in a trough full of manure, as we mentioned earlier.
Full of poo.
Yes,
Yeah.
in a poo
Alright.
trough. Which
did
I
Wiggles-
only assume existed in Dickensian London. Like, throw it in the poo trough. I guess that's like something that happened.
Yeah,
Did
pretty
she
much.
cry out?
You know, just
Would
the
I?
public streets. I peek back through the window to make sure Scraps is up and not and the sergeant isn't going after them. And then take off.
And are you taking off for the back courtyard or the front to the
I want to
street?
go up. I want to go up the fire escape or the sort of like tenement stairs.
Yeah, so you run back into the back courtyard to do that. And when you do that, well, wait, is it your turn? We got to make
no,
sure
sorry,
we're on your
Scraps.
turn. Yeah, it is Scraps' turn. Scraps, what would you like to do first?
Um,
You're out on the street now. I mean, it looks like you've gotten away. Would you like to just run, or
well,
would you like to go find your friends?
I'd like to go find my friends, or at least do some sort of special whistle that we know is like a signal. But I don't know what that would be or where we would meet.
To meet on
Well-
a rooftop hideout.
Meet on the rooftop hideout, like I said.
Yes,
Thanks
of
for
course.
reminding me.
The
Wiggles.
rooftop hideout whistle. And so you make the secret whistle.
Yes,
It's
I
like,
do.
3 long ones and then a short one. And then you start to head to the roof of these tenements. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
and to
yes,
do that,
yes,
you
yes.
run down the alleyway. This is the quickest way to get there. Past old Wiggles, who it is now. Wiggles can now hop up out of there and follow you. Is that what you're doing, Wiggles?
Yeah.
Okay, and now
Stay
Way.
behind me, Wiggles, because the smell lines coming off you are awful.
Oh no,
I don't
oh
want
no.
you in front of me because the
Right.
odors
You don't
will
even need to
waft
say
and I'll
it.
pass out. Stay behind
You don't want to be
me.
downwind.
I get it.
No.
Right. So then now you're both in the courtyard, and you can see that your friend Lord Billiam has just smacked Sergeant Fluke in the face with this weird glass, and it is now Sergeant Fluke's turn, and I'm going to rule that he's going to spend a turn cursing and bleeding out of his nose. You've successfully gotten enough HP down that he needs a moment to collect himself. So we're back to Lord Billiam. Are you going to follow your friends up the tenement stairs?
Come on,
I'm
Lord.
gonna
Don't lose that thing. That's what he's looking for.
shove the bloody thing into a safe inner pocket. I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
scream, "He's a bloody frogman! He's a frogman!" And I'm gonna go off chasing him.
And I'll be like, he's French. He's not French. That's not, you meant it literally. You meant it literally.
That's
Good. I
right.
love the French. I'm a Francophile.
Okay. Here we go. All right. So, let's see here. We are going to begin a chase. All of you are running up the stairs in the courtyard up to the top of the building. So I'm going to put you 2 positions ahead of our frogman, Sergeant Fluke. You've all kind of gathered together and you've started running. Actually, well, let's see here. One of you is moving a little slower. Oh, no, 2 of you are moving a little slower. Lord Billiam, you're actually at... You got a move of 8 right now. Normally you have a move of 9, but you failed your con roll to start. So you're a little ahead of the others once you guys all get moving. And then Wiggles and Scraps, you're a little bit behind him. And then Sergeant Fluke's down at the bottom of the steps. So you're running, and you're the first thing you have to do as you're running up through this. Let's see here.
If on the way I see any ladies like laundry hanging on a string, can I wipe my face on it?
Yeah,
Can you
pull
wipe your
it
face on it? Okay.
In muck.
These are great questions. These are great questions. I'm going to say that because he's going a little faster than the rest of you, Old Lord Billiam gets 2 actions every time I come to him right now. Wiggles and Scraps, you get 1 action, and Sergeant Fluke also gets 1 action. And the reason is because these are like chase actions. I mean, it'll be very clear once we start doing it. But you have to use 1 action to keep moving, and then you can use the other action to do something else. So because you only have 1 action, Wiggles and Scraps, if you do something like stop to wipe your face, then that's the action, and you haven't been running from Sergeant Fluke. So here we go. Let's start at the top of the order again. Lord Billiam, what are you going to do with your 2 actions as you run up these stairs?
Well, I'll continue to run, of course, because I want to put distance between myself and this angry adult, because I'm not quite an adult myself.
Okay.
Also, I'd like to look in the windows and see if there might be some flat that we might squeeze into and evade him.
Right. So that's no problem. You can do both of those things. So I'm going to put you a position ahead because you ran, and then you also you can make a spot hidden roll for me if you want.
No, I failed.
Okay, you don't see, you're kind of like using your other action to kind of pull on doors and look in windows, but you don't see anything that looks like a likely place to hide right now. Wiggles and Scraps, do you guys just keep kind of moving as fast as you can up the stairs? Do you want to stop to do anything?
I think
Scraps,
I
you
need
go
to
first.
keep moving. I'll keep moving. Is that okay, Wiggles? I want to get you clean, but we got to be alive to get you clean.
Yeah, I see the laundry and I think about it, but I can't do it. So I think what I want to do, this feels like the right time to let out the song I've been practicing. It's a song of a scamp that's just had a hard knock life, and what I'm hoping for is that some of these people in these tenements are going to come outside after I've run past them and step out just to see this curious, incredible sound that they hear and where it's coming from, and maybe that'll be throwing obstacles in front of our friend here, Fluke.
Okay. I think that, do you want to stop and sing, or do you want to sing while
No, it's
you're
a
running?
run and sing. It's a run and sing. Yeah,
Okay,
but
so
I've
with
been
a
working
run
on
and
it.
sing, I'm going to say that you're not
I'm
quite
usually
able.
sing and dance is what I've been practicing.
Right,
so
exactly.
it's just a little cardio.
Yeah, I think it's not quite achieving the tone that you like. It's not quite, you're up to your usual stuff because you're also going
I'm an orphan.
Fluke is waddling as quickly as he can up the stairs behind you. And now we're back to Lord Billiam. And Lord Billiam, I can tell you that if you want to continue to move up, you're almost to the roof of the tenement, but you must now make a climb roll to get up 1 more level.
I would like to do that.
Please go ahead.
I succeed.
Great. And Lord Billiam, you have that extra action because you're so fast. Would you like to do anything else as you're climbing up there?
Might there be a rock I could throw down at my froggy friend?
Give me a spot hidden.
Love a good rock throw.
Yes, 16. Yes.
Yes. You find finally the loose brick you were looking for before. So not only have you made it to the top of the roof, you have that loose brick. But I'm going to tell you one more thing. You look where you could run now, and there's nowhere to go except jumping to another building. You're on like kind of a flat top of the building, and this is sort of a dead end unless you run and you jump over to the building beside it. Wiggles and Scraps, what are you guys going to do? You're going to make this climb roll to get up to where Lord Billiams is?
Yeah, no, we got to make the climb. Scraps, I think you're a step ahead because I was trying to find my note there.
No, you guys won't make it yet because you're a little bit behind Lord Billiam. He moves a little faster than you, so you're just kind of up at the place where he was kind of looking in windows and things like that. Wiggles is singing loudly as she runs, and you guys are just moving as fast as you can.
Don't want to be hold no more, not gonna be
Okay.
holding.
Fluke is also spending all of his action to kind of up the stairs after you. And now we come back to Lord Billiam. You have a brick. You have a flat roof. What would you like to do?
Can I throw the brick and then run?
I think you can because you have those 2 actions. So would you like to give me a throw skill first?
Please. Come on. Exactly the number, 45.
That is a success. And so as Wiggles and Scraps are running, they see this brick fall past their heads and bang into the top of Sergeant Fluke's top hat, crushing it and knocking him to the ground again. And now that's excellent. So what are you doing after that? Are you running to the edge of the building, or are you?
Does it make an accordion sound when his top hat goes squish to help in my singing?
It does now. Thank you, Wiggles. It goes.
There's the note.
And
Can I-
yes, Lord
Can I-
Billiam. Yeah.
Can I wait to help up my little urchin friends?
Hey, what a great idea. So you reach your hand down, and now their climb rolls will have a bonus die because you are helping them. So could I have climb rolls from both Wiggles and Scraps if they want to get up on the roof right now? And if you fail your roll, you can roll again because of the bonus die.
Don't need no help. He offers a hand and I don't even take it.
Ooh, interesting. A little bit of shade from Wiggles toward Lord Billiam. And how
Help
did you
up,
do,
Scraps.
Scraps?
I'm
I
doing
you have
think
a-
I
wrong.
did, oh, yeah, I think I did well. I did under my number.
That's hilarious.
So, maybe
Lord
I
Billiam,
don't need the help either. He can hold on to it. We may need it later.
Lord Billiam, you put out your hand and they both just climb up on either side beside you.
Save
Um,
Lord, save your strength.
and high five behind his back.
All right, so you guys have some time, but I think because it's Fluke's turn, and I think that because of that brick, he doesn't move forward again this turn. He's right where he stayed before, and so you guys are on top of this flat roof, and the only way off of it is the way you came, or jumping to another.
It's time to jump.
Yeah. I think we
Can
all
he-
knew we would be doing some jumping when we all agreed to go on a roof.
I think so. I think that's par for the course. What do you think? It sounded like you have a question, Lord Billiam.
Well, can he see us up here?
He cannot. He's down on those almost fire escape like wooden tenement stairs that kind of ring the outside of these buildings.
Now,
Is he up-
Billiam, this is a teaching moment. I could tell you, I've been hopping from rooftop to rooftop for a whole year now. Like, basically all the expertise one could possibly have.
Oh, well, I gave you 1/5 of my treasure, so let's learn something, Wiggles.
I'll give you 1/5 of my knowledge.
That's probably still a great deal.
All right, so you guys have a cute and adorable conversation at the top of the rooftop, and then what do?
I'd like
run-
to follow Wiggles.
Okay.
Walk this way, and I do a little skippity skip
Yeah.
over to the rooftop and gracefully leap, or at least attempt to.
Can I-
Ooh, let's see if it's graceful.
Can
Yeah,
I save
what
my
was-
action then?
You can, right? It would normally go you first, but you can certainly go after Wiggles if you'd like. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just put you in the order right after her now.
Okay. Does it jump?
You're gonna lose your extra action because you're kind of gonna go later in the turn order, Lord Billiam. But it looks like a chase is almost over anyway. Yeah, how'd you do there?
Yeah, well, I get a little nervous when someone's watching. So what I do is I run up to the edge and I pause.
Yeah, you
And
chicken
I
out.
back it up a little bit, and I need to really focus and maybe not skip this time and run my full speed. So can I push the roll?
Ooh boy, you may go ahead. Are we about to kill another Becca Scott character on
No.
a jump?
Not
no,
on my
it's gonna
watch.
happen. You're gonna make it. Here we go.
Oh, got it!
There we go. She got a little nervous the first time, but then Wiggles pulls back and she runs as fast as she can and she leaps and deftly lands on the other building. And now it would be Lord Billiam if he'd like to go.
It's easy as a meat pie.
Oh, I'm a vegetarian.
Don't say that. That's bad luck before a meat pie comment.
That was
After.
it was bad luck. I'm gonna have to push my roll as well.
Okay, here we go.
Can I? Yeah. Okay.
Do left foot, then right foot, then left, left, right, right.
I only missed it by 3.
Oh, you can spend luck.
Can I spin my luck?
Yes, you can. Do that.
Okay.
Because I think that what happens when you spend your luck is you go, whoo, and Lord Billiam, you're just shy of it, and then you, whoo, your fingertips just grab the other edge.
I fell up.
She pulls me up, and I get up, and I say, "Just kidding. I'm not a vegetarian. That's disgusting."
Great. That's a great 19th century attitude. And now
Nothing
Scraps,
more
it's
disgusting than vegetables.
it's your turn, Scraps.
Well, I obviously am not going to be left behind.
Yes.
I'm going to have to also run. I'm very light as I do not get much to eat, but I'm strong because I have the determination of a fingerless glove. So
Known for their determination.
because
They
not because
persist
it's
in being
not-
gloves despite being very impractical.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm gonna run and jump. It's gonna be a beauty to behold. And I do not do well in that endeavor.
What did you roll?
I rolled well above.
Okay.
I might have to push.
All is not lost. You may push or you may spend luck if you're not.
I'm so far above.
Yeah. Okay. You better spend. You better push then, because I don't like it.
Bonus.
I don't really allow players to spend like 50 luck in one go. I
Yeah.
usually
I mean, it's
so.
not 50, but it's like 23. And I don't have that much luck.
I usually don't like people to spend more than
Yeah, no.
10. So why don't you go ahead and push that roll, and we'll see how that goes.
Could I retroactively use my bonus to see if there's a sheet and hold it out just in case, make it a little easier?
Um.
That's so nice.
Grab the other side, William.
Well, I don't think so, because
No,
it's
there's no
retroactively. I don't want to do that. I'm a mean keeper. I don't let people do retroactive
It's
things.
good. We're testing you, and you passed.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, and so how did we do when we
Oh.
pushed our
I
roll?
haven't even pushed yet. I was so nervous.
Here we go. Oh my God.
I did it! I'm
Yes!
a well under. I'm a well
And you
under.
all arrive on the top of the other building, and we are going to close this scene by saying that you are now making a clean escape, because far in the distance, as you're climbing off of this building, you know what I mean, you look back and you see Fluke just finally getting to the top of the first building and kind of walking to the edge, and he's much too large and fat to jump after you, and you've gotten clean away, and soon you find yourselves in your neighborhood of Clerkenwell, standing together on the street. It is dusk. Many people are moving about. And what would you like to do now? I will only remind you that Ike, your
Captain
beloved
Middlemass.
mentor, teacher, and father figure, told you to take the glass to a man named Middlemass in Pentonville.
Pentonville. I think.
But you don't
Yeah,
have
no,
to
I've
do
got a
that.
cousin in Pentonville. It's a second cousin, and you know what? That's my secret to not being poor anymore. I think my second cousin would take me in, and he lives in Pentonville.
Yes, you just don't know your second cousin's name or what house he lives in.
No.
So maybe you could do a side quest while you're there. Pentonville is a more well-to-do neighborhood, and it's only about 20 minutes walking or running from the kind of slums that you all live in. So would you like to head in that direction?
As we walk,
Yes.
perhaps I can tell my friends about what I think it does. You can see the true nature of a creature, right? Fluke wasn't a human being. Fluke was some sort of frog monster.
Hold it up to me. What do I look like?
I don't know. What does she look like?
Can you see I'm a rich noble?
You hold it up to your friend Wiggles, and she looks just completely like herself, except that she's a little warped, like a little bit of funhouse mirror kind of stretched for a second, and you realize it's not acting quite the same way as it did before, Lord Billiam, for you. But right now, I would like for our friend Wiggles to roll her power.
Ooh. 2.
Oh, that's a very good roll.
It's an extreme success.
Yes, it takes no magic points from you. Suddenly, everything that you're seeing through the glass takes on a little bit of a new character. It becomes crystal clear. The blurriness and warping goes away. And you're looking right at Lord Billiam for a moment, who looks like himself. And you're looking out at the crowds of London. And then you see something interesting.
What do I see?
What do you see? You're about to find out. Here we go.
Incredible.
In among the teeming crowds of London, you spot a thing that is not a person at all. It is of vaguely humanoid shape, but the limbs are too long. Its back is too hunched, its gait too lurching. And when it turns, you see that it has no face, but rather smooth, yellowish flesh extending from ear to ear, empty as the oval of an egg, without eyes or ears or mouth. Please make a sanity roll.
Oh, Wiggles, what's wrong?
No, Wiggles, you're shuddering so. You're shuddering so. Is it the group?
I made it.
Group?
You made it. You lose no sanity, Wiggles. But you see this thing kind of moving among the crowds of people in London, and when you pull the glass down for a second, it's not there. But when you pull the glass up again, you see it moving among the people, and then you can tell me what you'd like to do. Would you like to continue watching this thing, or would you like to, or would Wiggles get scared and hand it off, or stop looking at it? Tell me what your action is.
You know, Wiggles likes to keep Wiggles safe, but I think that something like that would probably have some sort of underground pile of gold or something. So I tell my friends, and we're gonna hide, and we're gonna stay way back and be super sneaky, and maybe it'll lead us somewhere. But if it takes us too far from Pentonville, then maybe we'll Pentonville, then yeah, maybe we'll reassess. But I think maybe we follow it a little bit.
Interesting. Okay, so you're all going to follow it. And what I would like you to do then is make stealth rolls. And who is the stealthiest among you? Tell me what your stealth skill is.
60.
60? 60?
20.
No stealth skill. So our singing, dancing orphan is a bit not sneaky. So
I don't
that's
know
okay.
when I'm humming.
Why don't we call old Scraps our stealth leader here? And Scraps, you can get a bonus if both of your friends succeeded their stealth rolls, or you're going to get a negative to your sneaking if neither of your friends succeeded their stealth rolls. So let's see how it goes. Go ahead and roll your stealth, Lord Billiam and Wiggles.
I missed mine by 7.
Would you like to roll? Would you like to add your luck for that? Would you like to spend 7 luck?
If I succeed, I will only be helping Scraps.
That's right. So maybe this isn't the time you'd want to spend luck.
Do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, when I get nervous, I like to practice my scales. A-E-I-O-U.
Yeah.
So,
So that's probably why you're not doing very well.
yeah, no,
on the
I'm not
stealth roll.
helping.
Okay, so if you are sneaking along behind this thing using the glass, and is Scraps looking into the glass and seeing this thing? No, Scraps is just following the others as they
That way.
tell you where the thing is going. And so, Scraps, you're going to be the stealth leader, though. So go ahead and roll stealth for yourself right now. But I want you to roll it twice and take the worst roll because these guys both failed. They're being very loud and
Right.
attracting attention.
Shh, guys.
Right.
Okay, take the worst. Oh, that's a good one. I wish I could keep it. Oh, not bad. I got a 20. That's the worst. I had.
Oh, that's great. So you
Marvelous.
succeeded
Yes.
even though these guys were being loud and silly, and you were you had to keep telling them to hush. And so now
Way to go, Scraps.
I've got to tell poor Miss Wiggles, who's the one who's kind of taking the glass around, that you notice now as you move along behind this thing that after a little while you see another one moving through the crowds of London. And a little bit later you see yet another one moving through the crowds of London. And again, when you pull the glass down, they're not there. But when you put it up, you see them. And you notice an interesting scene. You notice two gentlemen at a cart, haggling over apples, mealy old apples. And you notice one of the faceless creatures move toward them and start to weirdly caress their heads with its weird, long, spindly fingers. And they start to have an argument. And they start to curse at each other. And you can see that they are becoming very angry with each other and starting to call each other names. And as they do that, the yellowish, jaundiced hue of the creature that's kind of hovering around them begins to flicker and get brighter.
They're sowing discord.
Yeah,
They are sowing discord.
Feeding off it. Can I do an intelligence check to see if there's anything else I can garner besides this basic? Like we can all kind of see it's feeding off the argument.
You may do an intelligence check, and I want another sand check from you, because even as you watch this one do that, you see 4 others on this crowded London street of Clerkenwell moving among the crowds and sowing a similar discord.
Which
You
one do you
can
want
take
first?
it, Wiggles. What the more the merrier. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all. That's not
Right,
going to stop you
right.
and your sanity.
Okay,
Yes.
so sanity first.
Sure.
Nothing phases Wiggles. I've seen it all. I may remind you, I never got that laundry to wipe the muck off my face.
Okay, and yeah, give me that intelligence roll.
Okay.
I think you lose 1 sanity nonetheless for what I'm about to tell
I
you.
got a
but-
15 though, and my sanity is 71. My intelligence check was a hard success.
Ooh, excellently done. You realize 2 things, Wiggles, and this is why you lose that 1 sanity.
Mm-hmm.
You think that perhaps these things aren't something that's happening today. They're not some evil plan or monstrous thing that just started. From the way they move about nonchalantly, you think that they are always there, just on the other side of some sort of thin veil, and that the
probably
only
touch me
reason...
too.
Yeah, the only reason you're aware of them is today is because you're holding this magical glass, and that's what makes you lose the 1 sanity, is you realize that these strange creatures are part of the environment, part of the world. They're just just right beyond the veil always.
Gentle folks of my friends, I'd like to tell you maybe we shouldn't be following these creatures. Maybe we just need to deliver this glass.
Oh, Wiggles,
Guys-
you look so shaken.
I'm fine.
And yet
just know too
wiser.
much.
Yet wiser. Sometimes you have to
wiser.
let go of a little bit of sanity to save lives later. So thank you for taking that wisdom on for us.
Scraps,
Yes.
you might consider making Wiggles your mentor as well.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
but
well,
I have
the-
this
the options
magazine,
are-
and I feel it probably has all the information I'll ever need.
Yeah.
It's Punch.
Can you
If it were
even
another
read
magazine, but it's Punch.
It was published for 150 years.
I've seen you use it as a listening device and a weapon and a blood clotting material, but can you read?
Oh no,
You
no,
can't-
no.
yeah, you can't read.
I
I
the
can
only
read.
thing.
nothing if you know
I
more
can't
than
read.
me.
Yeah, that's the
can.
only problem. But the cartoons are
cannot read.
interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
also,
So
I would like to volunteer, and I don't know if there's a cost to this, but I would tear out 1 or 2 more pages and give them to my colleague Wiggles to wipe at least some of the disgusting filth from her face and other appendages.
Yeah, it's really dried and caked at this point, but that would be nice.
okay.
Yeah, if you fold it small, you could scrape it off with a folded piece of
Yeah,
paper.
yeah.
Done. So just so everybody is aware, my players and everybody who's watching, Wiggles no longer has animal feces on her face.
It's a big
and
moment.
another
I feel
great
like
use
a
for an issue of
new
Punch.
woman.
Like, God
Yeah.
bless that magazine.
Okay, so what's our next destination, everybody?
We've got to get to Pentonville.
Wait, but do we? I mean, Ikey's dead. Why is this bloke he sent us to going to be any nicer than Ike?
Look, I don't think I want this glass in our possession. It's only going to give us badness and not good things. You know, badness. And so I think it's probably best if we take the money and maybe we'll have a queen's ransom and be able to live our lives eating all the foods we want and breads and meats and pies galore.
Well, you are the mentor and I'm the mentee, but what if we go and we look through the glass at this bloke we're supposed to give it to, and if he's a bad guy, maybe I smash him in the nose with it as well.
Yeah, and then we steal his stuff.
Yeah! Oh,
right.
And so it sounds like you've decided to go and look for this gentleman.
Yeah.
Okay, you walk for a while, and soon you've walked out of the London slums, and you've walked into kind of a more well-to-do neighborhood. And it being the year 1849, London isn't as built up as it is today. So as you start to enter the Pentonville area, you see that there are green fields and trees and many beautiful houses, row on row on row. But you're not sure where a man named Captain Middlemass lives. So let me know how you're going to look for him here in this well-to-do neighborhood.
Do y'all smell that? It's nothing.
I think I do.
I smell not city.
It smells green. It smells verdant. It smells sweet, like
I didn't
flowers.
even know they
and
were things I
honey.
knew of. Wow.
A coach, a handsome cab, driven by someone more well-to-do than yourselves. Rode in by someone more well-to-do than yourselves. Goes roaring past you and sprays mud up onto you. Yes, little orphan children aren't welcome here, and they're probably not going to be treated very well. So how are you going to find out where this adult lives?
I feel much more at home now that we've been sprayed with mud. I was a little uncomfortable there for a minute.
The feces has been replaced with good, clean earthen mud.
And now I can use the magazine to wipe off the rest of the feces now that it's wet again.
I could talk to someone, perhaps. You know, I might be able to extract information using words and language.
You have a silver tongue.
That I do.
A woman with an enormous bonnet, carrying a basket, in a beautiful purple dress and a huge shouldered jacket, is moving down the sidewalk past you. Would you like to try to talk to her, or would you like to wait for another mark, Lord Billiam?
No, she'll be fine, I think.
Okay, very good.
Mom, we're looking for a Captain Middlemass. We've been sent here because we are orphans, and we've been sent here because he is supposed to give us instruction as part of a charity that he agreed to do. And I'm wondering if you might be able to point us towards the direction of Captain Middlemass.
Whose child are you?
Oh, you probably don't know, but Ike Seville runs the charity, and it's been quite good for us, and we appreciate all your help and Captain Middlemass.
You're working for a charity?
No, I mean no. We are but the beneficents of the charity.
If I could just
make a fast talk.
If I could just say, I would just add that because we are orphans, if you want to know whose children we are, I would say we belong to the Queen of England because she sanctioned the charity. So you're sort of saying no to a queen's child if you don't help us.
Yeah,
I don't think she liked that much.
No, probably not. Go ahead and roll, and you can roll with a bonus die because of that really excellent detail that Scraps has given you, Lord Billiam.
I don't need the bonus, but yes, my fast talking is. Oh, sorry, I do.
You rolled over 75. You have a 75 fast talk.
Yeah, I rolled 8.
Don't worry. Good thing Scraps gave you that bonus. So go ahead and roll that tens die again. See how you do.
37.
There we go. We made it that time. Thanks to Scraps' addition. And she goes, well, it's good to see children who have a healthy respect for Queen Victoria. And I myself would be happy to give to your charity as well. Here you go. And she hands you each 2 pence.
2 pence. We can rub them together if nothing else.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Listen to the
And then
sound.
she-
They clink.
Clink!
Yes,
Scraps!
Oh, Archie would have loved that sound.
Middlemouse lives in the large house right down the lane there, with the wheel of a ship above the door.
It's a bit on the nose, but okay.
He's a nautical gentleman.
Yeah, no. Does he hire a decorator for that? Or did he do it himself?
I'm afraid he's an old bachelor, an old confirmed bachelor. Oh, when I was younger, I did try to win his heart, but that's
Doesn't
an
get his
entire
heart then.
tabletop role-playing adventure for another day. Good luck, children.
Thank you, Lady Purple
God
Dress.
save the Queen.
Thank you, my
God
lady.
save the Queen.
God save the Queen.
She moves off down the lane, and soon you all are standing in front of a large house. It's not a gigantic mansion, but
Did
it's
any
a
of us
large. Oh, go
Pick
ahead.
her basket.
Did you try?
I definitely did.
Well, go ahead and give me that sleight of
I-
hand roll.
I imagine I might not have been the only one.
Yeah, you won't.
Oh, yeah. I got in that basket.
Oh man, you got in that basket, and I have a really good news for you, Wiggles. You found a half-eaten piece of cheese.
Yeah!
What
I've got
could
to
be
split it
better?
3 ways. Okay, I'll split it 3 ways and pass a bit of cheese to my friend.
Scraps, did you also try to pick that pocket?
I did.
Okay. Go ahead and give
forget
me
which
that. Go ahead
number I'm
and
hoping not to get.
give me that D100 roll and tell me how you did.
I rolled a 7.
Oh wow, that's an
I
extreme
rolled
success.
a 7. Yeah.
So, okay. Wow. I think that with that extreme success, I'm gonna roll on my table here, and then I'm gonna add 5 because the higher the result, the better you do. Okay. This is amazing. I added 5 to the D20 roll for this table of things that are in people's pockets. And Scraps, you also got a half-eaten piece of cheese.
What? Impossible.
Is
Yes.
this lady only
Wonderful.
half a piece of cheese and
I
then
guess
half
so.
a piece of cheese?
That's what happens when you
split
use
mine
random
3
tables.
ways.
Sometimes the same result comes up. You guys are in the you're not in the money, but you're in the cheese.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And so probably nibbling your cheese because you are very hungry. You
Save
are now
some.
standing. Yes. Save some for later. This could last you days. Standing
Wait,
in
I'll
front.
give you each a bit of my cheese.
Yep.
But
And
Scraps
I
has kept their
will
cheese. Their cheese.
Save the entirety of my cheese for the 3 of us at a further date.
That's smart planning.
Right.
Maybe you'll
That's
be
good.
the leader someday.
All right,
I
I'm just
think I'm
making a
probably
note
lazy
that there
now.
is cheese for later. And I would like to know what you'd like to do now that you're standing in front of what is ostensibly Captain Middlemass's house. It is a
we need
well-off
some recon.
townhouse of the
Yeah.
1840s.
Yeah, we've got to creep around, see what we see in windows and such.
We've got to
very
look through
good.
this thing and see if what he looks like.
That's so smart. Who's going to do it though? Because
Who's
it also
doing
some scary stuff. I mean,
Who's
I'll,
doing it?
I'll do it.
Very good.
I don't
Give
wanna
me
look
the
in there
power roll as you look at the house. Are you looking at the house, or do you want to wait till you see somebody?
I mean, we could start with the house.
Very good. Give me that power roll, Lord Billiam.
Yes. Success.
Okay,
30.
excellent. So you don't. It doesn't take any magic points from you, and you look through the glass, and you see that the house looks like a normal house, except there are sort of weird kind of gold lines, sort of arcing over it and crossing it in kind of a pretty design. And no other no other houses on the street have these odd, like, kind of gold ribbons, kind of like crossing and crisscrossing around the building.
Maybe it's a force field or something, but look, I can see these golden ribbons around the house.
I think that's a good thing.
Promising, eh?
I
Sounds
don't
promising.
know.
Well, maybe he's nice. Maybe we should just go up and knock. Or maybe we peek in one window. You want to go, Scraps, since you're so good at sneaking?
Yeah, I could peek. I could go in and peek into a window.
I'm not even going to make
oh,
you roll
no,
for that.
no. You
That's okay.
you groaned and grimaced, LB.
Wilma, you don't
That's
want
my
her,
new
you don't want her to do that? Them to do that?
No, LB. The Lord
I
Billiam.
thought
Oh, Lord
El-
William didn't want to
I
go
thought
sneak.
LB
Well,
Yes,
I-
I'm sorry.
seemed like he
I
was
just-
consternated.
but I've taken a
we've
poop
been
recently.
making tea, so yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
What if you
Hold
maybe
on, let
poke-
me just remove the tea from the ground that I set up that joke with. Okay, great, that's gone.
what if those beams, what if they're not good? What if this guy's a bad guy and if you touch the beams it fries you up or something?
Yeah, no, I think you're thinking too much into it. I think Gold Lines is probably the best we're gonna see. Because guess what? I've seen some shite when I look through that.
She's
Okay.
seen some shit. She's been in it. I trust her. If she thinks that Gold says he's a good guy and he's like trying to protect himself from the very creatures we've been freaked out by,
Well,
we should trust that.
I put my arm around Lord Billiam and I said, listen, if I'm going to be your mentor, you're going to have to listen to me all the time and continue to give me a fifth of everything you have. So since I found that cheese, you owe me back a fifth of the third that I gave to you.
It all makes perfect sense. Are you sneaking up and peeking in a window, Scraps?
Yeah, I'm gonna snake up and peek.
I'm
A
not
sneak
even
and
going to
peek.
make you make a stealth roll. I'm going to say that
No
you kind of
need.
go up and there's like kind
Yeah.
of a front kind of window and you kind of take a look inside and you see a gentleman who is dressed in livery and he's kind of arranging things on a table and he looks up and yes, he spies you through the window and he comes to the door and he opens it and he goes, "May I help you?"
That could have
You sound
gone
like a
worse.
butler. Is he a butler?
He
He's in-
is undoubtedly some sort of servant, yes.
so
May
I've
I help
slipped
you?
back the glass in my inner pocket.
And you guys are not nearby. We said that Scraps kind of went up on the
Okay, good.
porch. So, yeah, you're out of sight for now. Although this guy has some keen eyes. He quickly spotted our friend Scraps. So, Scraps, what would you like to say?
Oh, yes. Hello, sir. I'm looking for my two friends. I think they came by this way, and I thought I saw them around the house, and I thought maybe they were
like
somewhere
10
close.
Child, I'm a very busy man. I'm in charge of this entire estate and its management. I do not have time to talk to gutter snipes and street urchins. I wish you all the best, but we do give at the usual charities. Good day. And he begins to shut the door.
Wait, sir.
Come out of hiding and run up.
Okay.
Wiggles, sir. Now you see I was speaking the truth because herefore too is my friend.
Yes. All right, now there are two of you, and I'm going to shut the door.
I'll
Wait.
run out as well.
Wait, no, sir. I understand that you are a noble butler, and I know that it must be your duty to report to the lord of the house that I am his second cousin, and I am one of the Wiggletons of Bombay, and I am of noble blood, and I believe that it would do well if he would speak to his second cousin.
Well, it sounds like you are lying, which is a bit of a fast talk.
It could be true for all I know, because those facts are facts.
Oh, that's
I
true.
have
Those
dead
are
rich
on your
parents.
sheet. You do
I
have a
was
second
rich
cousin
once.
who is rich, and you're trying to find him.
I don't know who it is, but the
Well,
only
then-
lie is that I'm saying it is the captain.
I will allow you to use a persuade then.
Ooh, I got 50. Okay. 13, and that is just a hard success.
I'm sure that I have no idea of what it is you are speaking, but at any rate, the captain is not present at this hour. He is currently at his club.
Boy, where's his club? Can we wait for him? We'd like to wash up if that's possible.
I have no idea how long he will be there. Sometimes he stays there all night. He is the chairman of the club. If you would like to seek him there, he is at the sign of the Trident in Limehouse.
And what house?
Limehouse. It is a neighborhood of London. On the outskirts. East side. Probably about an hour's walk from here.
What's the name of the club?
He says to seek him at the sign of the Trident.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, maybe you don't mind if perhaps in your garden there's a water spigot or a pump or a well, and maybe
Or
I could
stables.
wash up. Yeah, in your stables just out back. Won't be long. Just quick little wash.
Very well. Since you made such a good persuade roll, if people would like to go back to the stables, not inside the house,
Right.
and use the well there, then I will allow it. Will the three of you be doing that?
Please, yes, please.
Definitely.
Very well.
If we're gonna go to this club, I need to get all this muck off my clothing.
So you guys are you're back in you're back where they're kind of like the coach yard is. It's like a modern day garage, only back then it was made to bring coaches, horse, teams of horses in and out. And there's some like horse dung back here, and there's a stables, and there's also yes, there is an outdoor well where they pump water from. And is everybody cleaning themselves up?
Yeah.
I've got
while
a
we do-
toothbrush. I'm brushing my teeth. It's a treasured
That's
possession.
right.
Look at
Yes,
that.
Lord
Wow.
Billiam's number one possession is his toothbrush.
Mr. Hoity-toity.
Yes, and
I'd
soon
share it with you.
Yeah, all right.
Wow,
No
these
thanks.
guys really-
I dip my teeth in bleach.
I feel like the queen herself. Yeah,
That sounds
you dip your
healthy.
teeth in bleach.
Okay, I need listen rolls from everybody.
I'm
18.
practicing my scales like I do when I'm happy. So I don't know.
I made it.
Okay, how'd you do, Scraps?
I did not make it.
So, Lord Billiam, you've passed your toothbrush to somebody else, and you hear voices in the house. You're currently, like I said, standing out in the coach yard, and you are, behind the house. You're like, there's a back door, leading out into the coach yard. So you can go down the driveway out to the front of the house, or you can go through the house. And right at this back door, you can hear voices, and one of them sounds like the butler's, and the other one is not the butler's.
Could I'd like to sneak up to the window and look through my glass at whoever's talking.
That sounds like a great idea, but I'm going to need a stealth roll from you.
Oh, I figured as much. I missed it by 6. Can I use...
Yes,
Use
you
that
can use luck. Absolutely, you can use luck.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay. 1 second. So, you look in, and what you see, my friend, Lord Billiam, is the butler, and he is kind of vociferously talking to two gentlemen, one of whom is tall and skeletal and bald, even though he's quite young. He's probably in his early 20s. But he has like kind of a skeletal frame and sort of a professorial clothing on. And the person beside him is a policeman with a crushed top hat and a almost completely cleaned up nose. Yes, it is Sergeant Fluke, and I am sorry to say, how much did you you succeeded only by using luck, correct?
Yes.
Well, they made their spot hiddens by more than that. I compared their skill versus yours, and so as they are talking to the butler, suddenly the professorial gentleman sees you through the window, and he slaps Fluke, and they look at you, and they see you, and now a chase or fight is about to begin.
Should I do what I wanted to do anyways? Oh, yeah.
Yes, you may do what you'd like to do. Let's go in
Okay.
Dex order.
Well,
Let's
when
start.
Sorry,
Yes,
but when
go ahead, sir.
when I looked at them through the thing, right? Like I said,
Yes.
I held it up, and so Fluke still looked like a frog,
Uh-huh.
but the other gentleman...
Looks like a gentleman.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. And let's do this. So let's see. Oh yeah. All right. So it is actually the professor's turn first, and that gentleman immediately runs and pushes the back door open, and it hits you because you were just kind of standing right out there, and it's almost like an attack. He goes first in the round, this professorial guy, and so you need to make a dex roll, or you're going to be knocked flat, Lord Billiam.
I'm quite dexterous. I made it. 54.
Great. You manage to jump out of the way of the door as it goes flying open, and now Fluke and this skeletal professor are standing at the back door looking out into the coach yard, and then it is Lord Billiam's turn.
Oi, rude! Run away!
Okay, great. And is that what you're doing?
I would like to start running, yes.
Give
with
me a
my friends.
constitution. Give me that constitution roll.
Come on, better. Shit, I missed it.
Okay, that means you're at move 8 for this chase. And now let's go to the next person. Mr. I'm sorry, Scraps.
Okay. Well. Oh man. Okay. So we're in like stables, like a coach house. Is there a coach in there with like horses that have been attached to the coach as
That's
one
what I
does?
was thinking, maybe
There-
ready to go.
There is
Yeah.
not. The coach and
Okay.
horses have been taken off somewhere, and you're kind of in the coach yard. So in front of you is the house and the two antagonists looking out the back door. Behind you is sort of where the place where the coach would be housed and where there are stables for the horses. And then to your immediate left is the pump.
Maybe I want to yell to Scraps. Maybe that creep, he came in a coach out in front.
Yeah, he could have come in a coach, but would the driver of the coach just be there waiting for them to come back? And would he?
I'm
could we
afraid there's not
steal
enough
that
seconds
coach?
for this entire discussion.
Oh God. Okay, I'd
So
like to. I want to hide. I feel like if I can get into the carriage house, there might be something I could use later if I just run and hide quickly before I'm seen.
Great. Run and you run to, I'm going to say this turn, you run into the coach house.
Okay.
And that's Scraps' turn, and that brings us to Wiggles.
All right. Well, I see Scraps running that way, but I'd like to run another way. And I know that Billiam's at the back door, and that's where our opponents are hiding, are coming. So I want to run around back to the front door of the house and maybe go in the front door of the house, and they'll never find me.
That's pretty clever, actually. Okay, give me a Constitution roll, because that just shows how fast you're moving for this chase.
Yeah, I made it.
You made it. So you stay at your normal move of 8. Great. And you start running down the kind of the little lane beside the house to go back around to the front of the house. Okay, and then let's bring to it's Sergeant Fluke's turn after that. So Sergeant Fluke, let's see. He's going to see how his Constitution roll goes to chase all of you. And it went to the tune of a 99, which is a critical fail. So I think he pushes out after the professor, and they stumble over each other. And the hilariously comical cop, Sergeant Fluke, once again is on his knees in front of you, having fallen over in his hurry to get his hands on you. So that is his turn, and now we come back to Lord Billiam. Lord Billiam, I assumed when you said you were running out to the street. Is that correct?
I think it's the same way that Wiggles ended up
Yes,
running,
that
right?
makes sense, and you're a little ahead of her. So do you want to just keep moving? You want to just keep running, or do you
Can I
want
glance over my shoulder and see her?
Yeah, you definitely glance over your shoulder and you do see her.
Yeah, so I'm like, so I said, let's go. And we just continued to run towards the front of the house.
Great. And
This is like the houses are very far apart. There's no neighbors, right?
The houses are actually quite close to each other. Think of a more of a townhouse situation, because you are still, even though it is more of a suburb at this stage, it's not completely landed estates or whatever.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So you do not get an extra action. You only get the action that allows you to move forward this time, because you're not ahead of everybody like you were last time, Lord Billiam. So that is what you do. You keep you and Wiggles are moving like crazy, and then it's Scraps' turn, and Scraps is gonna make a stealth roll to see how hiding in the coach house goes.
Okay.
Oh shit! I forgot Kane. The professor hasn't done anything. The professor has to go first. I'm sorry, Scraps. Forgive me.
It's all right.
Yeah. Stupid stupid storyteller, game master, bad, get it right. Don't get out of order. Okay, so I'm fine. I'm cool. Okay, so the professor is going to run after, of course, the two of you, and he makes his con roll. And his con roll succeeds. And so he is 2 behind you, Wiggles and Lord Billiam. And then right behind you is the professor. He's running around behind you. And your trick of going back into the house may not work if he can see you when you try to do it.
I'm not very stealthy, so I'm not going to try.
Okay,
that
Scraps.
after I see Billiam.
Give me that stealth roll after all now. Let me see that stealth roll.
My stealth roll was, I made it. My stealth roll was under my number.
Great.
45.
Well done. I think that you get into the coach house, you get up into the stables, and you cover yourself in some hay. And
Itchy,
now
but successful.
Itchy but successful.
Yeah.
That's the new hashtag for the Neptune Society. Itchy but successful. Please use it on all the platforms when discussing the show. And I would like now for Wiggles. Wiggles, I assume you're just continuing to move as fast as you can.
Yeah,
But
well,
keep it. You get one action, so you could stop and do something if you'd preferred.
what I'm good at, it includes song and dance and climbing. And so,
And throwing rocks.
yeah, okay. Well, maybe I can't run and throw a rock, can I? Maybe I
No,
run
you
well.
can. You got to choose one or the other, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm just gonna run straight after Billiam. I gotta stay safe. Can't go chasing after whales.
All right, you and Lord Billiam are now kind of out in the front yard. You're kind of coming around the front of the house. And now it is Sergeant Fluke's turn, and he is going to get up and move to the stables and kind of look around for Scraps. And now we move back to the professor. The professor is just going to move as fast as he can. And sorry to tell you guys, he is now out there in front of the house with the rest of you, kind of like he can kind of see if you try to run back into the house.
Is there any place to hide or any mode of transportation we can?
You do discern that there is a coach with horses in front of the house right now. And of course, even though it is a more suburban neighborhood, there is activity on the street, people moving back and forth and various passersby, carriages going back and forth. So let me know if you'd like to take advantage of any of that environment. There are also shrubs and hedges around here that you could use to maybe hide behind if you could get far enough away from him.
Steal the coach, Billiam! I yelled at him.
She's my mentor. I've got to do it. Yeah, I'll jump in the coach.
Great. I'm going to let you
head
move
towards
straight to the coach. And as you get to the coach, you notice that there's a big, angry-looking Metropolitan Police officer in it. And he looks down at you when you arrive there. So I can't wait to see how Lord Billiam deals with him in a moment. But right now, we're going to move on to Scraps, who I assume stays stock still inside of her hiding place. Their hiding place.
Bet I do. You bet I stay stock still.
Okay, very good. And then Wiggles, what are you going to do? Are you also running for that carriage that you told your mentee to hijack?
I stop in the yard, I plant my feet, and I aim my stone right at that constable.
Okay, here we go. Throw it. This is the constable and the coach, right?
Get him.
Yep.
I got him. I throw it, and if I spin 2 luck, it's hard success.
Well, do you want to do that?
Yeah, why not? Let's spin 2 luck.
Okay, you spend 2 luck. You get a hard success. Go ahead and roll a full d6 of damage.
Round down?
No,
a 5.
don't worry about it being a d3. I told you to roll a d6 of damage. You rolled 5?
Sorry, I rolled 5.
Okay, let me see what his HP is. Let's see here. Okay, he has to make a roll to see if he stays okay after getting hit with that rock.
This.
Here we go. Okay,
For all the orphans in London.
He rolls a 100. Which, I mean, like, look, I don't want you guys to think I'm taking it easy on you. He really just rolled a 100, so he had lost half of his HP from that hard success on the rock throw. Then he has to roll his Constitution to see if he gets, stunned. Well, I'm going to say that rolling a 100 on your Constitution means that he gets completely knocked out by Wiggles' rock throw.
Yes.
I also think that Wiggles should check her throw skill.
Yes.
Which means it could improve later. And that is Wiggles' turn. An excellent turn. But
And
Wiggles
William
did.
looks over, turns around, and looks at me, and I just raise an eyebrow. Wink.
But Wiggles did forget to move forward. That is the
couldn't
thing
do
about
both.
that. Right. No, it's true. And so we're going to see how the professor does when it comes back to him. He might get close enough to grab Wiggles, but right now that was Wiggles' turn, and then after Wiggles we go to Sergeant Fluke. And what Sergeant Fluke is going to do is he's going to use his spot hidden roll to try to see if he can find where Scraps has hidden themselves. And here he goes. He does not find Scraps. No, he doesn't.
Nobody finds Scraps.
He's like looking through the coach where they would park the coach, and he has his back. He has his back to you, Scraps. So you can tell me if you want to do anything else when it comes back to your turn. But Sergeant Fluke is going and taking moving boards around over in the coach area, and then we come back to the professor. Let's see how he does here. He can only move forward one because he doesn't get two actions. He can only move forward one increment, and so he's right behind you now, Wiggles, but he's not on top of you and able to grab you quite yet. And then that brings us to Lord Billiam's turn. You have a knocked out Metropolitan Police officer and a coach with a team of horses in front of you.
Oh, I was going to use my language to get in, but you did better than that. Has he got a gun?
They do not carry guns. They carry truncheons, little billy clubs.
I'm a little Billy, except I hate it when people call me that. Can I grab his truncheon and run towards the professor?
You may. I think I'll allow you to pull his truncheon out of his belt where he's sitting there in the coach, and you can run towards the professor with it. And that means you and the professor, I don't think you can attack though, because it's an action to pull that out, and then it's an action to run over there. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
He's got my mentor.
You actually only have enough time to move back to where Wiggles is in the yard. So now you and Wiggles are in the same position, and the professor is almost to you. And that's when we come to Scraps. So Scraps, he's not looking at you, old Sergeant Fluke. You can stay where you're at. You can try to sneak behind him. What would you like to do?
I want to sneak behind him, but I would like to have something I could use if discovered, and that feels like maybe it's two different things.
Well, not necessarily. Would you like to try to pick his truncheon is on his belt right now? Would you like to try to pick that, or would you like to try to pick his pocket?
I don't want to touch anything on that
Yeah.
disgusting monster. I don't need his help.
Yes.
Now, what I do need is a horseshoe. And I say that as a person who believes strongly in the lack of horseshoes. And I'm in a carriage house. So I'd like to arm myself with what I would like to now be known as my lucky horseshoe.
Yes, you find it. It's there.
Yeah.
You find a stray horseshoe, and you now have a lucky horseshoe. And what would you like to do? Would you like to do something with it? I'll allow you to find it.
No, I still want to try to run away without being seen.
Okay, give me one more stealth roll
But
then.
at least I have it if I need it.
Right.
Because I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, no problem.
For my stealth roll, I rolled 22.
That's so good, and this is such a key couple of rolls. You can check that. There's a little box to the left of it. You can go ahead and put a little check mark in that box, and maybe it improves later. And you run out, and now you are moving down the lane toward the front yard where your friends are. And now we come back to the professor and everybody else. No, we don't. I'm so confused. That was Scraps, and now it is Wiggles' turn. I apologize, Wiggles. It's your turn. Yeah,
Oh,
so
I'm
the
so
professors are
conflicted.
almost upon you.
I would go running, but now that Lord Little Billy Will has come after me, I can't run away. I did that and I fell in poo. So, yeah, I think I'm going to use the best skill I have, which is my psychology. And I'm going to say to the professor, Prof, you're chasing the wrong folks. Don't you know that sergeant with you, he ain't human. Human.
You're gonna use your and so you say you're using your
I'm getting
psychology to do
involved.
that.
I would like to, yeah.
Psychology usually helps us know things about people, not do things to them. So would
okay.
you like to, I'm going to ask you the question, would you like to know something about this professor right now, maybe by observing him, or would you like to use one of your social skills like charm, persuade,
I
fast
could
talk?
persuade.
Okay, try it.
Oh, yeah. I got a hard success.
Oh, very good. You're like, we are not the people you're looking for. Yeah. And let me see how it is now. That does bring us to the professor, I believe. Yes. No, it's Fluke. Oh, let's see if Fluke figures out what's going on. He does not. He's still looking around the coach house, and now the professor is going to see what he thinks of Wiggles's. No, we're not the people you're looking for. The professor is a very smart person, and he keeps moving toward you, and he goes, "Oh, no, of course, I have the wrong people. Well, I'm so sorry. Allow me to pay you for having inconvenienced you and scared you, poor children.
don't be
Perhaps
fooled.
a little
Wiggles,
bit
no.
of perhaps a little bit of change could make it all right." And he's pulling something out of his jacket.
No.
So that's his action, is to get to you, and he's pulling something out of his jacket. He's like, "Let me make it up to you, children. I'm so sorry that I scared you." And he's pulling something out of his coat.
Put it
And
back
now we
towards
come
the
to
character.
Lord Billiam. What would you like to do, my friend?
I don't believe in violence, but it's been helping me today. So, bam!
Okay,
I'd like to
great.
smash him in the head.
Give me that fighting roll.
Fail. Can I push?
Oh, you
all
can,
right.
but remember, if it goes wrong again, something terrible happens. Go ahead.
Oh, I am 9 away from a success.
You
Can I
can
use
spend.
luck?
I allow people to spend up to 10 luck. Do you want to do that?
I have to, I feel like.
Go for it. Make sure you mark it that your luck has gone down by 9, and you just managed to just barely connect with him with the truncheon. And the truncheon does, let me tell you how much that does. That does a 1d8 plus your damage bonus in damage.
Ooh.
A D8. I have a D8 here. Yep. Ugh, it's a bad roll. And my damage bonus is 1d4.
Yep.
So it's 2 plus 3. So 5 total.
5 total. Well, let's see how many HP our friend the professor has. So you managed to connect with him. I'm afraid the professor is made of stronger stuff. That's not enough for him to have to make a roll to be stunned. But he's basically reaching for something, and you smack him across the face with a truncheon, and he's like, ah! And then it is whose turn is it now? Oh my gosh, it is your
Fluke?
turn, Scraps. Yes, are you running for the front?
This is what I've been waiting for. I've got the horseshoe, and he's already stunned. He's been hit in the face with a truncheon. I've got to hit him as hard as I can in the head with my horseshoe.
Okay, are you throwing it?
I might I'm afraid to throw it because I'm afraid it will miss. I want to get right up in there and I want to take the horseshoe and I'm holding the horseshoe like this and the two ends of the horseshoe are right here and I just plunge the horseshoe straight at his eye hole.
You know, I'm going to let you attempt it. Let's go ahead and give me a fighting roll.
Come on, fighting roll. Oh, that was not good.
Is your throw skill higher?
Bad. No.
Yeah, all right. Let's go for your fighting. Let's try it. It's 25%.
Oh, wait. Do I take 25% of whatever I just rolled?
No, you just roll and you try to roll under 25%.
Okay. 96 can't be good.
No, that's quite bad. So Scraps runs out and she kind of tosses her horseshoe haphazardly as she's trying to use it as like brass knuckles, and it misses. And that's not great. And then it is Wiggles' turn.
Yeah, well, I used the distraction of my two friends, both clocking him with the truncheon and then distracting him with a swing and a missed horseshoe. And I want to run for that carriage, jump inside, maybe try my luck at driving a carriage.
Okay, great. I'm going to say this round you were up and you are in the driver's seat beside a hunched and knocked out constable. And we'll see if you can drive it very soon. But now it's back to Sergeant Fluke, and I think now he knows what's happening. And so Sergeant Fluke starts to come running around the side. So an ally is about to get here, and that's Sergeant Fluke. And then it is our professor's turn, and he is very angry and not happy. And rather than reach for whatever was in his pocket... Yes, I think rather than reach for whatever was in his pocket, he loses the grip on it and he just attacks you with his hands. And he's attacking the kid that used the horseshoe, tried to use the horseshoe.
But I still have the horseshoe in my hand. I did not throw the horseshoe.
You did not throw it. You did not throw it. No, you said that you didn't, and you didn't. Okay. And he connects with Scraps. And he is going to try to grapple you, Scraps. And so rather than do his damage, he is just going to try to get his hands on Scraps. And he has them. He has Scraps. And he's like, "You're coming with me, you little shit." And he's got you. And that is his turn. And now it is Lord Billiam's turn.
What do you think I should do, Wiggles? I'm gonna hit him in the head with the truncheon.
Hit him with the truncheon!
Hit him! I can't hit him! I can't break his strength.
Oh.
How'd you do?
Crit fail.
That's a crit fail.
That's a 100. That's a crit fail.
Can I push?
You can, but I'm not going to let you use luck on a push this time. It's got to be good. What are you doing to make it work this time?
Okay, so I swing it so hard that I swing all the way around, and the second time, 49, which is a hit.
Bam! Do your damage again.
Okay, so this is a D8 plus, come on, 2 plus 6 total.
That's really good. In fact, it's good enough that he lets go of Scraps and he falls to the ground.
Break free.
Yes, he lets go of
Scraps. He let me go, but I like to say that I broke free.
You broke free. Yes, your incredible strength.
Yeah.
Can I try and pickpocket him at any point during this melee?
Oh, not with those fighting rolls. You can't.
You're right.
But you know who can try is on her turn if she'd like to, and it is their turn. Scraps can try because Scraps was up close and personal with him.
Well, I do have good skills. I'm good at dodging. I'm good at reaching in, grabbing, dodging. It might be all I have left to offer at this point. I do still have my horseshoe. I just want to make that very clear. Very much still have my horseshoe. Very much still have my magazine. The horseshoe is in your possession.
Yes.
But to honor my friends, Elby, who very much wished to pick the pocket, I will reach in and try to grab what he was reaching for.
Give me a sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
Skill, yeah.
Sleight of hand. I am golden very much. I am 35, which I believe is one of the good successes.
Okay, let's see what you got out of his pocket. Let's find out.
It must be something good. He was reaching in there to try and attack us.
Okay,
with it.
Yeah.
you find something wrapped in wax paper.
Cheese.
Are you running for the
It's
carriage, or are you
nothing.
guys standing here and trying to beat down this professor in the front yard in Pentonville?
No, we're on the run.
Okay,
Wiggles.
so you've now run up to the carriage, and now it is Wiggles' turn. Wiggles,
Gonna roll for carriage driving.
this should be good.
You're going to keep the constable in there?
I would like to spend 6 luck to make that a success.
Done. And with that success, I'm going to say if the children want to run and get on this carriage, I just need a dex roll from them.
Okay.
Hop on board! I know exactly what I'm doing.
Ooh, I missed it by 4. Can I use 4 more luck?
Yes, you should use 4 more luck. Yes.
I rolled a 1. A 1.
Oh, never mind. Don't even use your luck, Lord Billiam. Scraps reaches
Come on,
out and
Melvin.
grabs you and pulls you onto the back of the carriage. And now 3 children and an unconscious police officer are rumbling through the streets of London on a team of 2 horses. And I can tell you that normally it would take an hour to walk to Limehouse. But in the back of this carriage, careening around the streets, because what is your total skill in drive coach, Wiggles?
20.
20. Okay, so I think that's
I
where
rolled
it starts.
26 and then got luck. Oh, sorry,
That's-
29 and then got luck.
That's perfect. This carriage rolls through London, through Cheapside, through Whitechapel. It's knocking over vagrants and drunks as it
Sorry.
plows through the city at a great speed. And eventually, you find yourself in a certain part of Limehouse. Yes, because you see, there is a tavern in Limehouse where sailors go to tell their tales. Not too far from the wharf, where the scent of fish and blood chokes the air, you see the sign of the Trident.
Oi!
An old sign hanging on the side of this tavern, and it's got kind of, a 3-pronged fork on it that you identify as a
sea
trident. Yes, and so would you like to go in?
What do we do with the
Screech it
constable?
to a stop.
Oh, the constable is unconscious, but let's see if he's still unconscious.
I wanted to throw him out of the thing while we were driving down the streets.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to have done that. Let's see what happens to him. Oh, when you did that, Lord William, he went out of a careening. You guys were moving very quickly, and you threw him out of a moving coach, and you heard an unsettling crack noise when he hit the pavement.
I think we're murderers now.
No,
Wow,
that's
you're a good
accidental.
teacher, Wiggles.
It's a
That's an
seedy
accident.
place, this London. All right, you're standing outside of this tavern. Would you like to go in?
Can I
Yeah.
look at it through my special glass, my ghost
Oh.
glass?
Well, maybe
Yes,
we need to
you
hide
may.
this carriage a bit. Maybe just not leave it right in front for the frogman Fluke to come.
Hit the horse, one of the horses on the bum.
Oh,
I've seen
yes,
it done.
thank you.
Hit the horse
Um,
on the bum and they'll run away.
Yeah.
Yes. Suddenly, the coach is careening with no driver through the streets, and you hear people going, "Ah, run
Good
away,
luck,
coach!"
everyone.
Ah!"
Thanks, horses.
Good luck to you all.
And now I must have a power
Roll
roll
good
from my
night.
friend Lord Billiam as he looks through the glass again.
I missed it by 15.
Okay, that's okay. You lose more magic points. You lose 2 more magic points. And you look through the glass and you can see that this tavern, which is on the bottom floor of a building with several floors, and you see even more of those weird golden threads kind of weaved around it. And it kind of glows with an ethereal light, even though it's a disgusting, dirty tavern down by the wharfs in Limehouse, one of the most, slum-ridden neighborhoods of East London in this time period.
Guys, this has got the magic force field as well. Look at that.
Wow. That means there's something special here. Maybe we'll get parents.
Yeah, maybe don't look at it though, because every time I do it, it hurts me a little bit. I feel like.
I'll take your word. I don't want to look in there again.
What does it feel like?
If we
when-
just go in, will we be tossed out before we can find the captain?
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
we
we
need
look-
disguises. Like a moustache.
Do you want to do that? Or do you
I'm
want to go?
really
Do you want to
bad
go
at
in? Do you want to sneak in?
I also am bad at disguises.
I'd rather
We're better
drive
at
this way.
sneaking. We're better
Well-
at sneaking, I think.
Yeah,
I know a tavern in Cheapside where I can sometimes drink out of mugs that drunks leave unattended. I feel like children are allowed in these places. They just turn a blind eye.
That is a very good point, Lord Billiam,
Great.
and it is unfortunately very true.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
In
So
this
maybe we
gritty
should just
version of
go
London,
in.
you can walk right into a bar, even though there are no of age drinking laws in the London of 1849. I haven't checked the history records on that, but in my world, it's true.
But if we want to get the chance to see the captain before he sees us, so that you can look at him with your special glass, how do we do that if we're just right out in front of everyone?
well, is there someone at the door?
What, like a bouncer?
There is no
Yeah.
bouncer at the door, but you hear people singing and singing inside, and you hear
get
it carrying
distracted,
on.
Wiggles.
I've got
Don't get
it.
distracted.
No, yeah. Soon they won't notice when I walk in if I'm singing and we're singing the same tune, and I think I know this one.
Does that mean you're going in, Wiggles?
Well,
I-
I want to consult with my colleagues and see if they're on board. You can sneak in behind me after I pave the way, singing and dancing, so they just say, "Oh, look at this funny child," when they're all so drunk already.
Well, you're the mentor, but maybe it'd be good to keep a low profile, right?
I am the mentor. That's a good idea I had. Let's keep a low profile. Yeah, I'll save my singing and dancing.
Very good. You all enter the tavern because I have to move it along. And
Okay.
and you can tell me, would you like to be sneaky, or would you like to just walk in and ask, or
I'll
is there a
follow
third option?
behind the good sneaks because I'm not a good sneak.
Okay, very good. And so why don't we just have Scraps roll stealth again? You guys are being kind of furtive as you go in here, so you don't get noticed by anybody.
Okay, I rolled the 22 stealth.
Well, that's very good. So I'm going
Yeah.
to say that you go into this tavern, and there's a many, salty looking fellows singing a sea chant, and I left her by the docks, and like clinking glasses
that
of
one.
ale together, and you kind of crawl under the tables and over the chairs, and you stay to the shadows, and soon you find yourselves in a back room. And this by the way, you saw no gentlemanly types. You saw nobody that looked like they might live in a house in Pentonville at all. And soon you find yourself in a back room where it's a good place for you to hide with your little stealth roll. And this back room has a big long table, and at the head of the table there's a big wooden statue of Poseidon, but you guys probably wouldn't know that. There's a big wooden statue of some kind of king guy holding a fork.
Are there any portraits around hanging on the walls?
There are some portraits hanging on the walls.
Is there
and,
a lady?
not in this particular area, but since you're looking around carefully, Wiggles, give me a spot hidden roll.
It's not going to be. Oh, yeah, okay. Nah, 36 on 25 is no good.
Oh, okay, no problem. Would anybody else like to make a spot hidden roll?
I would.
Okay, go ahead.
23.
A success, I believe.
Yeah, oh, very much.
You pull down the hand of, just accidentally, you're kind of looking around at all the art on the walls, and you pull down the arm of the statue holding the fork, the king holding the fork, the shirtless king, and suddenly
What a
the
powerful
back wall
shirtless
opens, and there are
Guys.
stairs leading up somewhere.
Guys, the secret passageway. We've got to go through here, right?
Just go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's dash
You move
in.
up to the second floor, and now you are standing on a landing in front of a large oaken door with a brass plate that reads the Neptune Society.
So locked
I
or
wish
is
I
it
knew
open?
what these letters were, but they were so nicely embossed.
Pretty.
Can I have your magazine
Touch
for
'em.
listening?
Yes, you hear many people discussing, like,
and we believe that a chapter of the Order of Dagon has already opened here in this very neighborhood. Well, that's
Sounds like a
preposterous.
franchise.
You can't.
Well, my friends, like people are having a lively discussion inside.
Is there just one door at the top of the staircase?
Just one door at the top of the stairs.
Is it unlocked? Is it
You
open?
try it, Scraps, and it is locked.
Dang. Did I hear us rattling the door?
Don't even, because I have my lock picking devices. I never leave without them.
What would we do without you, Scraps?
Scraps?
Can I just tell you, you gotta open it because I think Middlemass could be our new dad.
Oh,
You are really into the sole parent thing. I hope for your sake it's
they
true.
Died, that's all
Yeah.
I want.
I mean, I guess we could try knocking, but if we
Give me
want,
your pick.
I could try to pick the lock.
Yeah,
Why don't you try?
Should I try? Okay, I'm gonna try to pick the lock. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my locksmith. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I rolled a 33.
The door
So,
swings
and
open,
yes.
and you are standing in a room with another large table, and many men are
Posing
sitting
it up.
around it, discussing things in a lively way. But the door, they can obviously see when the door opens, and so they all turn to look at you. And one of them is like up at a podium, and he turns to look at you. And yes, Wiggles, on the wall are many different paintings of different people. One depicts a beautiful woman with olive skin holding like a quill. Yes, holding a book and a quill. And all of the gentlemen turn and stop their meeting and stare at the three of you. And the big man with huge whiskers at the podium goes, "Who the devil are you?"
oh,
And that is where we will end today's adventure. Yay!
Good.
Guys, you did great.
We didn't
We're all
die.
alive.
That's the sign of success.
Yes, I didn't kill any children today as a keeper. I guess I'll count that as a win for myself as well. Wow, I mean, these children, they are violent. I didn't realize that. But the thing I really liked about them is that they take big risks and they use the resources that they have at hand. For example, an issue of Punch magazine. So I want to thank my guests again. I think your characters could come back, but every time we play an episode of the Neptune Society, a couple of years pass. So next time we see these characters, they may be a bit older. So if and when you're thinking about coming back, think about how they would change when they're older and what's going to happen now that they've. I think that we can safely assume you get free membership in the society when you lockpick the door and sneak in. I mean, that seems to make sense. And we can find out more about that glass at some later date, too. I want to thank my guests, Janet Varney, Rhett Miller, Becca Scott. Guys, thank you so much.
This
so
was
much.
such
That
a
was so
pleasure as
fun.
always. Thank you.
friends forever.
Yeah, you guys are expert high-level role players, but you're also lovely, funny people. So thanks again. I'm going to say goodbye to my guests now, and I'm going to hang out here for just a minute to talk to people in the chat. Rhett Miller, watch his shows online. Janet Varney, watch everything she's done. Becca Scott, watch all the things she does, and follow these people and tell people about them because they're in gigantic talents. All right, thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was a lot of fun. I had fun with those guys. The Dickensian milieu works well with Call of Cthulhu, I think. And I liked the chase rules, which I was kind of trying out there. It's tricky because people sort of tend to, I like free will, so people kind of tend to leap into chases and then leap out of them. For example, Janet's character wanted to hide when the rest of them kind of wanted to do a chase. So you kind of have to roll with that when you're taking the keeper role. But all in all, I really, really liked it. So I'm going to hang out for a minute. If anybody has any questions or comments, I'm here to entertain them? Here we go. Not question. Just want to say today's session was wholesome and lovely. Yes, I didn't murder any children, but the children did murder a cop. So how wholesome was it really at the end of the day? What were the yellow emotion suckers? I missed that. Well, I'll give you a little recap, psych. The recap is that... do you want to know what they are in the Cthulhu mythos? Because secrets like that, I don't really want to reveal. I kind of want people to, I want the game to have a little bit of mystery. So I'm not always going to tell you guys in the chat, like, go to page 250. I was using this monster. Luckily, the kids did not really end up tangling with those creatures because it could have gone pretty poorly for them. They smartly decided to avoid them. But a little recap, the children came into this possession while pickpocketing of this strange glass. When you looked through it, you could see into sort of another dimension that was overlaid upon this one. And moving through that other dimension were these yellow, faceless wraiths that seemed to aggravate the negative emotions of London. And our very smart orphan, Wiggles, discerned that probably these things are just all around us all the time. And looking into the beyond is probably not a smart thing to do because you have to live with the knowledge that these creatures are right there near you at all times, right on the other side of the veil. And then after that, there was much chasing. They were chased by Sergeant Fluke and then by Sergeant Fluke and a professorial fellow that I promise we will meet again here in the Neptune Society. Yes, do you have any advice for making character sheets? Do you make yours for your guests? Yeah, the only reason I make them for my guests, actually some of our guests prefer to make their own and I always let them do that. But the only reason I make them for my guests is so that my guests can just come play, because sometimes they're busy and have busy lives. So that's the main reason we do that for them. But I won't lie. While I don't tailor the characters exactly to the adventure, I do make sure that the characters have skills that would be useful in the adventure, because I think there's nothing more frustrating in Call of Cthulhu. And I played in a lot of these games and I ran a lot of these games earlier in my life when you've put a lot of skill points into being good at, let's say, anthropology, and that doesn't come up in 5 sessions. Or you've put a lot of skill points into shooting a gun and you aren't given any opportunity to shoot a gun in 5 sessions of Call of Cthulhu because it's mainly a mystery and interviewing game that time. So I do make sure that the roles are sort of cast and the character sheets are a little, not completely 100%, but a little bit tailored to the adventure. Was he human? He was human when you didn't look through the glass. So what do you think? Anybody that knows anything about the Cthulhu mythos and the Shadow over Innsmouth knows that those kind of creatures go through various stages of life. So perhaps our friend Sergeant Fluke was in an earlier stage, and the glass merely revealed the form he would eventually take. If he was murked, he's murked. I mean, right now he's just a professor guy that's chasing after them. So if they kill him, they kill him. And then I come up with a new antagonist, a cooler, better one that doesn't get murked next time. There was a chance they could have killed him, but I was thinking because they're Victorian children whose weapons mainly consist of rocks and things like that, that there's a fairly good chance that these bad guys weren't going to get killed. Hubs, that's an awesome question. I don't know if you are aware of my love of Welcome to Frogtown, or that on my former podcast, The Secret Masters, I discussed Welcome to Frogtown with my good pal Matt McCarthy. But no, there wasn't, but there should have been influence from Welcome to Frogtown. And you know what? If Deep Ones and Deep One related creatures are going to keep making it into my games, then god damn it, we should have an entire Welcome to Frogtown episode, probably. It's just a good idea. Okay. I just want to remind everybody, click on the heart to follow us on Twitch. So you always get notifications of when we're going live and our lineups and all that. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. And if you're really into our stuff, please go to the Facebook group where we post character sheets. And I am planning on posting adventures. I keep saying that and not doing it, but I think we're close to being able to do it. And in particular, I think the adventure which involved sort of a Moby Dick type theme, I think is about ready to get posted. You know what? Let's not call it a fully published adventure. Let's call it maybe my show notes. But I am going to start posting stuff like that. So if you're into that stuff, check us out on our Facebook group. And we're Stream of Blood on every platform. So please do follow us. Tell people about the show. And thank you guys so much for being here. And we'll see you next time. Shub Nugurath Cthulhu Fatagan. Bye-bye.